This is Q Talk America.
The following broadcast contains adult humor, language, and topics, along with partial nudity. Actual knowledge is used sparingly. The show is a result of a lost bet and a bad game of rock, paper, scissors. It's the show with Clayton McKee. And now, a man with a face for radio, Clayton McKee.
Hi, everybody. Welcome. It is the show. It's a Tuesday night. I'm Clayton McKee, your humble yet punctual host. I don't know. I was trying to come up with some other adjective that I couldn't come. Well, it's easy for me to be punctual. I live here.
Yeah.
I was saying ish on the humble.
In case you don't know about that, I live here. We are broadcasting tonight from our new studios in downtown Phoenix. You can see them out the window.
Look at that view. Moving on up.
I thought it was nighttime.
I'm going to get a nighttime shot. I'll do that while we're talking.
Pre-recorded.
Oh,
that's right.
Yeah, live.
It's not like when, the Tonight Show's done like at 5:30 at night. We're actually recording
exactly.
earlier
It's not
in the
11
day.
p.m. when they're doing the Tonight Show.
No,
it's like
no.
10 a.m.
Exactly. No,
it's 5 p.m.
It's like 5 p.m., yeah.
Same song.
By the way, for those of you keeping score, it is show number 234. This is the 20th day of October 2015 in Central Phoenix, Arizona. Hi, welcome. I'm sitting here alongside Kat Carlson, Marnie Ryer, and Al Perkins.
Hello.
We make up the cast of the show. We're the only goddamn thing on Q Talk America, so if you're looking for more, look somewhere else.
That's our new tagline. The show with Clayton McKee. We are the network.
I still like, if you're looking for more, look somewhere. Oh, hi, everybody.
This was funny. We're so sorry.
Aaron from LA is in the chat room. Harrison, who Al just saw just a couple days ago.
Goodness.
Brand,
Just yesterday.
My mom, Mama Di's in there. Joe DeGanzik is there as well. I knew Joe would be in the chat room this week and watching because Joe is he's watching about the chroma key screen. He was all excited about that. And I actually have some lighting questions for Joe. They're going to come in the next week too. So many things going on.
Ooh,
I'm amazed that I look human under all these bright lights. Because I never ever have watched the show.
way to go, Steven Cerna.
Right, Steven, you're going to Steven Cerna your way through the whole show now.
I just assumed I looked like a giant light bulb.
Oh, no.
No?
Now, for those of you wondering what he's talking about, off the
lovely.
shot behind me, actually, if you're looking at my shot, you can see it. There's a screen now. We've brought the screen back into the studio, so we can I can show them what we're doing video-wise.
Well, mostly so Kat can she can do the weather
Primarily,
forecast.
it's for our new weather girl, Kat Carlson. I wonder if we should just at the top of the show everybody how this works and what this is so that we can get this out of the way. For those of you wondering, if you follow us on Facebook, I posted this on the show and on my Facebook page. We've been talking about doing a chroma key green screen in the studio for quite some time. And you two joke constantly.
We joke about it all the time.
Pointing
Because
on the map.
we're always pretending. We've been pretending we've had one forever.
So I chose over the weekend. I actually did the green screen, and it looks like this is what it actually looks like without chroma key behind Kat Carlson. It's an actual green screen.
That's why they call it that, in fact.
Yeah,
it's
oddly.
The screen is...
It's the same color.
Green.
Oddly.
Yeah.
And actually, you know what that is? It's called Sparkling Apple. It is a Behr paint color from Home Depot.
Soup's
That's
sparkly.
where-
And we already know I can't sit in front of it because I would disappear. Because all you
wear is
green.
green.
Yeah. So I do the occasional hint
I
of
put
blue or
on
gray.
my casual weather
So
shirt today.
The beauty of this whole thing is
Start
that
wearing ties.
the beauty of this whole thing is that with when we decide we want to go somewhere and point on the map where something is, we will go to this shot, and Kat Carlson then can go into, show us show us the Dakotas. Where are they?
Oh. South Dakota.
Uh-huh.
Further South Dakota. White people live here.
Yeah.
Okay.
White people here.
Where's most of the porn in the country surfed on the internet from?
I don't remember.
I don't remember either.
It's all in the South. All of it is.
Oh, the Bible.
This is the porn belt.
It's all
the Bible
the
belt.
porn belt's
The
in
porn
the
belt is here.
right.
Turns out they read 2 books.
Yeah.
Right.
So
Funny accents here.
way up there. Yeah.
Over here. Ooh, ha.
Yeah.
Now, on days when we want to actually broadcast from the space station,
Let's do that.
We can look out the window and see
I can
that.
see Russia from my
And then you
house.
can also, if you need to use a map that's of a larger scale, you can use that one.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Right.
Here in, let's say, China.
We
Yeah.
traveled all the way through China.
Yeah.
Made
I feel like-
a left at Albuquerque.
I feel like that's in India dangling, but I honestly...
No, it's North America. You can see the penis of America.
I can't because there's
Right
like... Your
there.
your microphone is in my way.
Right there. She's stroking the penis right now.
Right there.
Yeah.
Oh, I got it.
Get a big,
Oh, so that's like Texas, Mexico I'm looking at?
Yeah,
Sure.
this is... Texas, right there.
I'll take the fatter one, please, for 500.
When we're getting close because obviously Fox News is ramping up in the winter time. Well, the holiday seasons are coming. So once we get to the war on Christmas, we're ready.
War
ready
on
for
Christmas.
We're ready. We've got snow and all of that.
We'll just add blood and dead warriors.
Oh, we can do that. I'm sure I can. We can be in downtown Flagstaff.
Oh my God, Joe DeGanzig, you are completely correct.
I know, I love it.
In the chat room, I'm legit gonna update my LinkedIn because I don't know if any of you are on LinkedIn. Feel free to look me up and connect with me because it's like part serious and part a joke, which is also my resume. So I added the show with Clayton McKee
Well, sure.
onto my LinkedIn.
Well, you should.
It's
Right,
a
my
job.
professional resume, and now I'm gonna add
Weather girl.
Yeah,
Sure.
Occasional weather girl.
right.
We might actually have to start.
Parenthetically, not Martha Wash.
Maybe what we need to do is
That's fair.
depending on. Maybe we should just get a list of where people listen and do just random weather reports.
Oh my God, that's so fun. We already have the list.
And I've reached that age where some things just don't make sense to me.
Really? You've just now got there?
Well, we've been there a little while because,
It's all right.
like, I didn't get hashtag at all for the longest time as we were all there for the Thanksgiving dinner
Hash
where
brown.
where Katie tried to explain
My mom with
hashtag
hash
to us.
brown.
I forgot.
And we were just lost on that topic of conversation.
And as a listener at that time, soup's frustrating.
Yeah.
Very funny.
To be screaming at my car stereo.
We had no
It's
idea.
a fucking pound sign.
Right.
But I have to tell you, someone sent me an email request for what I called LinkedIn.
LinkedIn. Me too. That's what I called.
Didn't even realize it was a word. I'm like, what the fuck are they spelling with? I didn't know what syllable to put the emphasis in. I was so lost. And I made a little profile, and I was like, what the fuck is this
Right.
for?
I agree, and
No.
I have been signed up apparently for some time, but every time I get a request, I'm like, no, deflect. I don't really need to be connected with any more people.
No,
I don't feel.
I did it that one time, and I thought, did I just sign up to be a hooker? Like, you know what I mean? Like,
No, that was
am I
that
going to
other
be part of the
website.
fuck the elderly
Yeah.
thing? You know what I mean?
Oh,
Yeah, that was
That's
that.
the other
What was
website,
that? What was the country?
Fucking old
dating
person
website?
win prizes.
they call that bingo.
Oh, there's
Sure.
that. Yeah.
Yeah, I think so.
No whammies. No whammies. Big money. Big money.
Oh, 69.
Oh, my gosh.
Wow. Tough crowd.
Oh my heavens sakes! Well, boy, the chat room's already very
They're off and running without us.
I know. I'm like,
very busy. Oh my gosh! Well, it's been a big week. Marnie
That
came
would be
back
awesome.
from travels abroad, and just abroad. I mean, intercontinental. I mean, she's
There
not.
were
She
some
went.
broads involved.
yeah, there was a broad.
Not shocking at all.
I feel like we should start with Marnie this
wanna
week.
start with
Like, yeah, let's start with Marnie.
You want to start with
Yeah.
Marnie?
Mix it
Take
up,
it
yeah.
away, Marnie Ryder, ladies and
Well,
gentlemen.
I apologize for anyone that thought that I just didn't show up.
Well, no,
Yeah, I thought it was a no call, no
We
show.
were a little worried.
Oh my
We're
God.
like,
Well,
is
let me-
she in a
Not me.
ditch?
Well,
let me
not like
let
me.
me tell you, and I think I emailed you back. Let me tell you how this
Yeah.
worked. She sent a link to a story. And underneath all of the stuff about the story was, oh, by the way, I won't be there next week. So
I got
I just kind of went over it thinking I can get back to this. It's for the show. I didn't have to read it right this second. If the email had shown up, it had come in with the subject line,
bad.
I'm not gonna be there. Oh, I'd have looked right at it.
Yeah, my bad.
But anyway, so
Sorry.
but it's no worries. I mean,
Yeah, I get this text from Al. I'm in Minnesota.
Where
and
the fuck
where are you? And I thought, huh. Well, to be
Those
specific,
fuckers don't know that I'm not here, right?
You know, what do we need? So anyway, my apologies for that. But
No.
it's all
it
right.
was very fun. It was kind of a surprise trip back to Minnesota.
For them or for you?
A little bit of both. A little bit of both, actually.
Oh.
Gotta be
a little
careful.
more last minute going back, and it was just a nice getaway. It was very beautiful. The weather was
You and
really
Ernie, you and
great.
your
Yeah,
mom?
Ernie and I went back. It was Seidel's
I like that she
birthday.
corrected herself.
My best friend's birthday was
that's
the
true, it
13th.
was.
So
Oh.
able to celebrate with her.
And did she know you were showing up?
She did.
Okay.
Yeah, she did. So we just.
I know how you like to pull off surprises
I
like
do.
that.
I love to do
As
that.
long as I'm
but
not involved at
not
all.
You,
Yeah.
Not for you. Not for you.
I love surprising other people.
Me too.
Yeah.
Yeah. But no. I know you and Seidel. No. Those
She's
are-
like that too. I didn't realize. All right.
Yeah, I remember the biggest struggle was, it would have been 6 years ago now, for her 40th birthday. A couple of friends.
That was
back
a
home-
surprise to her?
Yeah, it was a surprise. A couple of friends of hers that she's real close with decided they were going to go ahead and throw her a big 40th surprise party, and it was terrifying, and
Oh.
I knew about it. They
Wow.
brought me into it kind of at the last second when I got there, and I thought, no. Oh, dear God, don't do this. They had a shit ton of people involved. So I sat there, and I'm like, okay, I need to say something to her. I have to tell her. Can't tell her. I have to tell her. You know, and I had this internal battle, and I should have gone with the teller. And not, but they told me super last minute, and so I didn't have enough time to struggle enough.
Okay.
And
To win the right
to
war,
win the
yeah.
right war, and be on the right side of history for that. And so I didn't tell her, and she was in the bathroom for most of it, taking like Xanax, like just shoving Xanax.
Wow.
Well, that's just fun, though.
Well, for her, but yes, but
She went to her
likes
own party.
Yeah.
She likes to do that for other reasons. But this was actually
Judy
for
Garland her
anxiety.
way to the
yeah,
party.
she sure did. But all the
Remember your uppers,
family,
people.
you know.
Remember your uppers.
Balance. You got to balance.
It's a very
So.
gentle or a fragile balance.
Yes, but they're going to be coming down in December.
Those are a lot of Xanax.
Yeah, I know, right? She's
Yeah.
That's a lot
She'll
of
be bringing
Xanax.
it in
man.
for a landing somewhere around December.
Seidel and her
girl.
younger sister, and actually a whole group from Minnesota, because there are two people that are getting married down here. They're huge Vikings fans, and they want to get married. So I get to marry them.
By odd chance, is there a Vikings game in
There
town?
is.
Oh my
December
God!
10th. Yep.
like magic.
So people are coming in
Like
for the game, and the
magic.
day after, we're going to go ahead and
Okay,
marry them.
marry them all up. Get
Marry
them all
them
done.
off. So,
That is a really fast update to your LinkedIn.
Why, thank you.
yeah.
Oh, Kat F. and Carlson in the chat room has shared a link, and I bet that's
She's
to-
already updated her page.
has she? I'm
Clearly,
gonna-
this is an
Stand
easier
by.
thing
I'm
to
gonna,
do than
I'm going to go live to this and see what I can come up with.
Soup's easy.
Soups.
Soup's easy.
Soups is my abbrev of the week.
Oh,
Oh, I like it.
Anyway, that's
Cobalt
all.
Bar Show.
Me likey. Is that in a brief? Does that work?
Scott.
It can be.
So how long are we there for?
Saturday to Wednesday morning.
Oh, pleasant weather.
Yeah, it was. It was beautiful weather. It's my favorite time of the year there, with shorts and kind of a sweatshirt kind of.
Oh,
weather.
that's
gonna
my
buy
favorite
the,
look.
Colors were already changing in the
Colors were
trees.
changing. It probably was a little bit more bold this week, but
okay.
we went down to Minnehaha Falls, which is this incredibly beautiful state park kind of thing right in Minneapolis, and the colors down there were just fantastic, and so we were able to do that, and you know when
Down in
you're
your
just able to
Minnehaha.
run
The colors
well,
were in your Minnehaha.
Minnehaha.
Yes. It was good though. It was very good, very relaxed, and
Very good.
Oh, that's nice.
yeah.
And mom, and actually, mom had a little vacation too because you guys were gone.
Exactly.
I know how that
Get
works.
out, yeah.
I know how that works.
That is
Yeah.
funny.
I mean, a full house is kind of fun, but whew, an empty house gets
An
even
empty house
better.
is real nice
Yes,
sometimes.
I understand.
So it was
I'm
good
only making toast for one. I know the dream.
in my car.
Okay. Not following that. It's all right.
I'm not sure what's happened.
Al survives on toast and coffee, so it doesn't really matter.
I really
Yeah.
I know you could. I know.
It's true. Black coffee.
Ah, black coffee.
So anyway, that was mine. What about you, Miss Cat?
Nothing.
Very good.
Work.
Lie.
Yeah.
There's something exciting.
Updating
I
her
don't know, what-
LinkedIn.
All right, I updated my LinkedIn.
Yeah.
I'm now the sarcasm contributor and part-time weather girl.
When last we spoke, last Tuesday, you were embarking on a new adventure.
Oh,
with
my
Scholastic
exciting new
Books,
job.
And then you were going to training or to shadow or to tag along with somebody. And
I was.
So, do you know more about
Stalk,
book fairs?
shadow.
You know
Either
what?
way.
What term did they use legally? And who
I
signed the
so
affidavit?
far know approximately the same amount about book fair, but it appears that my knowledge that I've gained for free up till now is sufficient, and my entire job. No, for real.
She knows more
I already
already
know
than
it
the
all.
people that are trying to run the program.
And no, it's going to be really fun because my entire job is to show up and help other volunteers and other parents and school staff, like help them and remind them of different programs and how to do it and how to run the POS. And it's just a little bit of training and a little bit of help and a little bit of boosting, and that's my whole job. And it's going to be amazingly fun. I got to go shadow a merchandiser, which was basically like lug boxes with her, like help her set up the fair on Friday. And then I was supposed to go out on Monday, but I got canceled because like things happen.
Right.
A driver called in sick and another truck broke down, so there were no books to be set up.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
And yet you own a minivan and couldn't pull it off.
No, I mean they send like gigantic
Oh, big
cases.
trucks.
Yeah,
Big
like big truck with the little lift gate, and they're
Oh,
very.
those are fun.
I know those are a blast.
Would something go beep, beep, beep in this tray? Like me when I go
Yes.
backwards in the
That's
driveway.
what I need. I need that. Yeah.
Yeah, but it's been kind of like easing in, and then
Just slip it
starting
in gently.
right.
Good advice.
And then starting tomorrow, we really hit the ground running, and I get to go to like 4 schools tomorrow, and 2 the next day, and 2 more the next day, and work my night job, and then it's Star Wars trivia this weekend, and then it's AIDS Walk on Sunday, and then if I'm not dead by Monday, I will be very relieved.
And then you'll sleep all day Monday.
And then I'll sleep all day Monday, and,
And
then
then-
get up and do it again. Actually, I think I have crap on Monday too, but yeah.
Wow.
I'm very, very busy, like, coming up. So this is kind of the calm before the storm today. Today I'm like,
This is a big week. Actually, the whole month has been big for a lot of people. But this week is a lot. Again,
Yeah.
AIDS Walk is coming up.
I know,
so-
and I gotta throw. Your mom joins. So I gotta throw some money to her because I'm.
Yeah, my mom is again walking. I forget how many years in a row my mom has done the AIDS Walk with us. She is walking again this year, and I just reposted both hers and my the donation page, like you've been doing, like every 7 minutes since you started.
Actually,
but it's okay.
not quite that much.
You're doing well on your fundraising.
Yeah, very well. I'm in the top 5 for fundraisers.
Oh, very
throughout
exciting.
the entire event. Yeah.
Yeah.
In fact, myself and another coworker at Cobalt, like our bar is the host bar for
The morning,
breakfast, the
right.
morning, right, the whole thing. And yeah, we've done really well. I think Travis is number 3 overall, and I think he's number 1 on the team. So, yeah, Cobalt really
And
represented in the fundraising this year.
Very
Which is
good.
And
amazing.
last I looked,
Great.
we are right around 16,000 for our team, if I'm not
Last
mistaken.
I heard we were really close. Stand by.
Still higher than anybody else, the largest team so far.
Yeah.
And Barbara always usually holds a couple back for day
last
of
minute,
or
yeah.
right in the morning.
Right.
We have those two because she's still doing fundraising through her shows even on Saturday night. So there's still more that's coming in. But this year, because again, it's been a busy month for so many people. For those of you that
Super
don't know,
busy.
we have a local entertainer. Her name's Barbara Seville. And one of the things that Barbara does, she's an amazing fundraiser, does so many things for so many people. But this year, she had a little bit of a distraction because she ran for a pageant and then became eligible to run for Miss Gay America in Memphis this year. So that happened last week. So in between trying to raise funds for AIDS Walk, which she usually focuses wholeheartedly
All
on,
kinds of energy. Yeah,
she was
she's crazier than
distracted
I
by
am.
trying to win a national title, which she did very well. She was in top 10 out of 52 competitors, if I'm not mistaken. But anyway, we're lower this year monetarily than we have been in the past, and
Yeah.
she understands and she gets that.
Yeah, but I mean, the goal is always 100 walkers raising $100
right.
each.
Right.
So
We're
a goal
above-
of 10,000.
We're above
Right.
that.
Yeah, the goal is always $10,000. 100. That's Barbara's wonderful 100. 100
Right.
walkers raising $100. I just couldn't do it this year because of an event that we do every year for work, and I had been excited for that, and at the last minute they changed the date to November 1st from
Oh,
the established all year long October 25th. So I was kind of disappointed, but then I booked
Sure.
something else in between. So I got to give to all of your.
yeah.
Gotcha,
things
because
to
in
make up
previous
for-
years you were one of the higher up
Always have
fundraisers.
been.
Yeah,
You
I've-
fundraised really well.
Yeah, I kind of, and my supporters,
He guilts
my
doctors.
supporters may have needed a little bit of a break
Oh, a year
this
off.
year. Yeah, a year off.
No, and that's fair. Like I've kind of done it that way. Like I hit it really hard 2 years ago, and then last year it was kind of like,
Yeah, because I
a
think
little bit. And then
a couple
this
years
year,
ago I was
a
like
lot.
number last year or the year before I was like number 3, and it
I
was
think
a
2 years ago. Yeah.
huge total.
Or no, it was last year.
Well, I remember one year as we were walking, you were checking updates on the
Yeah.
status, and you were pissed because like you were number 1
And
or
then
2.
he got,
and
you
then-
wanted to get in the top 10.
The first year I just wanted to get in the top
year.
10, and I
Yeah.
got to the top 10 just as we crossed the finish line.
Yes.
Right as they closed my Roseanne in New York put in the money right as they were closing, so I got to be number 10 for that year.
Oh, okay.
And then last year or the year before I was number 3 for the state because I got
feel
to
like
go
it
on
was
stage.
last year. I feel like you were on fire with it last year.
Yeah,
but I don't know.
So I felt a little bad, but I was like, take a break, and next year I'll hit everybody else, make them feel guilty.
Got it. I'm probably going to be exhausted for this year's AIDS Walk because I have the event Saturday night, the BS West Halloween show. I have that all day Saturday night. So we'll be tearing down at 1, 2 in the morning, loading up. I'll probably be home by 3. And
Sleep for 20 minutes, yeah.
Right, and then Mom will show up with coffee and one of those lovely bacon, egg, and cheese biscuits from
love
McDonald's, and then we'll go to Cobalt and start the day. Fortunately, you're done with AIDS Walk. At least here in Phoenix, we're done by like noon,
Yeah.
and so you can go home and actually take a nap and continue on.
Or just sleep the rest of the day like I did. Like 'cause last year was rough times.
There was
was.
So if you
Yeah.
can't go on one of the Facebook, it's not not mine, but Marnie, are
I'll
you?
have me and mom. Mom and I
So
are both on
everybody's
there,
up.
and
Actually,
I
Pitch
need
in
to
a little
redo
bit, a
mine.
lot, whatever you can. It's AIDS Walk, Arizona, and like I said, Barboursville reaches her goal every year, but this year we're a little shy. So, and we have not used our time here to like promote it. But,
no, we have not.
Right.
but look around and look for Barbara's Wonderful 100. The T-shirt this year is really cute.
It is really
It's
So
actually
I'm-
Barbara's Wonderful 101 this year.
Yeah.
Because of the theme of Cruella de Vil on the shirts.
Yeah.
It's very cute.
It is good.
Very cute. The T-shirts are always adorable.
And I'm
Yeah,
sure
we have,
sanctioned by Disney.
Saturday we're going to Garth Brooks, and it's
Oh.
the 10:30 show. So it's that I teach all morning, early afternoon. Then we have the concert that late, and then the next morning the AIDS Walk, and then the Autism Walk right after that.
Yeah.
for
Oh my
work.
God.
So,
Holy
yeah.
crap!
Yeah.
I may not even walk. I may show up to the breakfast,
Couple of
ride the light rail, and then be like, "Bye,
What is
Felicia,"
it?
and then
What
go
is
home.
it you always say, Al? You were gonna
Sleep in for the cure.
sleep in
Yeah.
for the cure.
Yeah.
Yes.
That was a couple years I did the breast cancer walk for work
Oh, thanks.
in
That
honor
cracks
of
me
in
up.
honor of someone that didn't die of breast cancer. I found out later.
Oh,
Oh,
My honoree, as I found out later, did not have breast cancer.
well, that's good.
Yeah,
feel like that's a-
died of cancer. It just wasn't breast cancer. I just thought that so strange, but did it. And the one year I wasn't able to do it for work, and I had seen that you could check the box for join now, be a supporter, and then it had a box that you could check that said sleep in for the cure, and I'm like, oh fuck
Check that box
thing.
every day.
I
Yeah.
used to there should be more things in life like
Right.
that.
Yeah, sleep in for the cure.
Yes.
I
Yeah.
agree. Yeah, because I'm back to back events like day and night from Thursday morning on. So I may show up Sunday morning
Just
to Cobalt and
hi
wave
and
and
bye.
picture
Sure.
and bye.
Got it.
Photo up, gotta go.
Right.
Yeah.
Put me in the picture, put me on the light rail, put me in the picture, and then I'm just going to stay on the light rail and go back.
Yeah, mic drop.
There
You're
you
gonna
go.
ride it all the way to Mesa and just come back.
Sure.
Take a little nap, and then when it gets back to Earl, I'll jump
Continuing
right
on, Al, I know you had a big weekend this past because I not only dropped you off for your trip, I picked you up from your trip. So
And I
My
thank
goodness.
you for both.
What did you do?
And we learned
We learned something.
We learned all about the light rail and where to drop off and pick up to make things easier. There's a passenger pickup on Washington.
no, it's not the light rail; it's the SkyTrain.
Oh, the SkyTrain. So
Oh, that connects
your
to the light
your
rail.
friends don't have to go to the airport. They can just go to Washington and 44th
Oh, that
Street
really
and
is handy.
pick
That
you up. Or
sounds handy.
and no one knows about it yet. I think we might be spoiling that.
Right. Well, all of these people live or listen out of this country.
So if you'll never see me at an airport again if you're flying in here because I'm going to see you at 44th and Washington.
it was
That's
fantastic.
as good as it's going to get for
That's
you.
fair.
I was the only car in the parking lot awaiting his arrival, and then right as I pulled up to get you, one other person picked up another airport employee. But I didn't know that was there. I thought you actually had to go to the light rail station and then walk the crosswalk to get to the parking
Yeah,
lot.
like hop over electric.
There's a whole hidden parking lot behind it.
It was lovely.
Oh.
I gotta tell you, I'll go
It
all
is.
my fair
It's
lady on
behind
your
it, and you don't
asses.
know that it's there. It's fantastic.
It really was. But went to San Diego with the girls from last year's Temecula trip.
Oh, good.
We had a little reunion in San
I didn't
Diego.
realize it was the same girls. Gotcha.
Same girls, same bad behavior.
Well.
Rented a house in Mission Beach and a cottage, if you will. Lovely, lovely time. And then Harrison joined us Saturday afternoon. And we had so much fun. It was a little stressful, a couple problems getting in there with like car sizes and small garages and blah, blah,
Not a
this, blah, blah,
metaphor.
that.
Not a
Yeah.
metaphor. That's legitimate.
It's legitimate. And then we just drank our fool heads off and laughed our
It looked
asses
like it.
off.
It looked
Yeah,
very fun. It
we
looked
had
like
so
you had a
much
lot of
fun.
fun.
We, I have to admit it.
What?
My name is Al. I went to SeaWorld.
But explain why.
The girl that we were with,
Were you breaking something out?
Tiffany. Oh my
Is there an
god.
escape plan?
Yeah. There's an orca now in my back room.
Yeah. We had to walk that thing halfway to.
Listen, Chubby Chaser's a thing. It's
Baggage,
okay, like,
baggage claim is a
whatever.
bitch, but
We had to dig a canal all the way to the ocean, get that fucker out. So it was a little bit of a shame spiral, but the one girl that was going, as soon as she heard San Diego, and one of her friends had gone recently, and they, Harrison's an animal lover too. But these two are just batshit crazy about animals, and just
All right.
Ernie Jr.?
from the wrong angle. Like, doesn't see SeaWorld as somewhere like horrible. Just sees it as like, but they're there. Like, why can't we go look at them?
Yeah.
And she would not let up for the last 2 months. She's like, I know about Blackfish, but I really want to go. And I'm like, no, like, really? And it turned into like such a desperate plea of changing every topic of conversation to SeaWorld. Like, you'd be watching football and she'd be like, now imagine if a whale was there. We could go see that. So we had to turn it into like a
Can we watch
Make-A-Wish
the
Foundation.
dolphins play?
We did. So we ended up having to turn it into a Make-A-Wish thing. It just got embarrassing.
That's what he said to me in the truck, and I was like, I just laughed.
I'm like, you have to walk around this park telling people you have terminal cancer of pick your own body part, because this is a shame spiral we cannot live through.
I was saying to him, I was in shock, like, when I picked him up, like, you went to SeaWorld, and he's like, how do you know? And I'm like, she tagged you, and he's like, oh, dear God.
Yeah, because we told her no pictures. There was no pictures allowed while we were there, no tagging, and at some point we must have just broken down and said, oh, my God.
He's like, it's my dying wish.
But then...
Harrison, I agree with you.
Oh, Harrison, you know I do too. But I mean, it was relentless for months with this girl, and we tried to talk her out of it right up to the gate. Like, please stop with this.
You can back out.
Like,
You
we
can
can
back
go
out.
to the wild animal park up north. And then she was like, I mean, she was almost in tears. It just got
my
so
God.
like weird. Of like, all right, like, you have to tell someone you're sick, because why the fuck are we here?
Tell someone you're sick.
But then I
still love
spotted
that.
Danielle and I spotted roller coasters, and we're like, okay, we'll go for the roller coasters, and we did. And I got to tell you though, they have a sea lion show or an otter show, or I don't know what they're pushing, maybe sea lions and otters. Those
Oh my.
trained monkeys were delightful.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
It really was the cutest show. I don't know if they're mistreated. There was a part on the sea lions in the outtakes, you know, the extra footage on Blackfish, but I don't remember if it was good or bad. But they really was charming, and I was delighted by the sea lion show, and the dolphin show was good and fun, and we had to sit in the splash zone and she would start to get mad that we weren't close enough. Like, she really had some kind of like mental thing with this park. It was kind of weird, but the roller coasters were a lot of fun, and because it was October on a weekday, there was like
Nobody
no
there.
line.
Yeah.
So we were riding the roller coasters
Total
over and
e-ticket.
over and over again. Yeah. Oh, total e-ticket.
Right, total.
And I had been there. Aaron, I was there when I was like in my in the 80s, and I really didn't. Oh, you all went to zoos when you were a kid. Shut the fuck up.
St. Louis Zoo I went to when I was in the early 80s. I went to with my mom. I'd never been to a zoo before that, and I've lived here 22 years, and I've never been to the Phoenix Zoo.
The Phoenix Zoo is lovely, but the one
It is
thing
very
We've
nice.
been, yeah.
Never been.
Yeah.
the one thing that I was telling them is my sister's boyfriend in the 70s and his best friend were the dolphin trainers at the Niagara Falls Aquarium.
Ooh,
So I was constantly at dolphin shows at an aquarium. Like,
Sure.
my sister went to see her boyfriend, and I like anything that my sister did, I had to be dragged along to, because there was no babysitting
Right.
in my world. So I had seen like 700 dolphin shows. So like it wasn't that I was trying to avoid SeaWorld. It's like I didn't need to see another dolphin jump up in the air. Like,
Sure.
it was kind of an everyday thing at the Niagara Falls Aquarium.
Got it.
But the roller coasters were fun. The whale show was it was kind of sad.
You said that. Yeah.
I don't remember ever having seen a killer whale show before. So when I went in the 80s, I must have missed it. And there was only one show. They only did one show the whole day. So if you were on a roller coaster, you might have missed it. I don't know. But that wasn't... Oh, yeah. She got Niagara Falls behind cap. So, but the roller coaster was fun. And then we went to Mission Beach. And I hadn't been to Belmont Park in Mission Bay since the 80s either. It was one of those things that I had been ignoring for years, or just found other things to do and kind of forgot about it. We went on that motherfucking roller coaster at least 12 times in 2 days, to the point where finally I think I had mild to moderate whiplash. Like, I was fucked up. That roller coaster is spectacular.
Did you get the massage you were talking about?
Yes, I did. I got
Okay.
a fabulous massage yesterday.
Got it.
We rode all the rides at Belmont Park. We went to the Wave and watched the hot guys do the fake surfing thing
Okay.
up the water. Again, it's like a zoo, but they were fantastic. And then we met up. They came and drank near us afterwards. But that Belmont Park, so much fun. And that roller coaster, is insane.
Okay.
And we were like
I would love
screaming,
that.
and like, it really was. It was just the best weekend.
Well,
Rented bikes and
Once I read the article about a snake, a venomous snake that was found up in Oxnard, California, some yellow-bellied, blah, blah, blah. I freaked the fuck out. Because keep in mind, I'm frightened of my own shadow. So I wear water shoes in my own pool. This is, as I understand, it's a problem. But Aaron had gotten me to go into the ocean, and I even did it a couple times without the water shoes. And I thought, okay, fuck that. Like, I'm done. I'm done. They haven't seen the snake for like 30 years that far north and all of this, right? Just slithering along on the beach. Fuck that. I'm done.
yeah.
Done. I can't imagine, because I don't like snakes anyway.
Right. Oh yeah.
I
can't imagine a world where you do.
Well, some people do.
It's not okay.
I don't know what the fucking reason is.
I don't either.
They were talking on the news last night about these snakes, some snakes, being used as a
Belt.
shoes. No,
What?
Well played.
When
sir.
utilized appropriately, shoes or belts.
shoes or belts, exactly. No, I like dogs.
This is why me and Peter don't get along.
At all. Dogs as far as service animals, things like this, to comfort snakes, service reptiles.
No, you
No.
don't.
The
No.
Fuck
No.
no, I say. But this was a real thing. Some reptiles
Yeah,
can
no.
be very relaxing. They
No.
said, no, they can't.
No.
I'm gonna have a heart attack and die. That's the only done.
Yeah, but if you want to,
Just the thought of
I
it.
know.
God, the thought, I just got chills.
Wrap that around your neck. It's called a boa
for
constrictor.
the
No,
for the
thank you.
1984 part of it all, though, when you're at SeaWorld, they have these big video screens of these like enormously overly happy people talking about their love of the animals, and I love my job here, and I love being. I mean, it's relentless in
That's
its
funny.
cheeriness. Because those commercials have come out where they're just
Yeah.
like all about we're
Yeah.
great for the animals, and Kiko's still there. They just call him Key now, but
Oh.
Kiko's still in the show.
Oh,
Because they weren't going to destroy him. I mean,
Right.
could you imagine Peter's response
Oh,
if they
Lord.
turned an
Yeah.
animal into a killer and then destroyed him? Like, that dog don't hunt.
Sure.
weird. Yeah.
They're already down enough. Let's just come on. Let's.
Yeah, but there was a new law. There was a new law passed, and somebody has to Google and find out what it was because I still keep forgetting to do it. But SeaWorld won and lost a lawsuit over the weekend where they are allowed to build a bigger tank for the orcas, but they can no longer do any kind of animal husbandry. They can't. There's no more artificial insemination of whales. They can't breed it.
No more breeding.
They can if they happen to get together and fuck, God bless them, go with God, but they can't do any animal husbandry.
SeaWorld announced on Thursday that it will challenge a state ruling that banned the company from breeding captive killer whales at its San Diego park.
But they did get the permission to get a much bigger tank, like much bigger.
In other words, what this is the beginning, literally the beginning of the end. Because if no longer can they recreate these animals for their shows and they can't bring in any new ones, it's just going to mean that the slow death.
Or they're
right?
going to have to go kidnap some new ones.
Yeah.
No, but they can't. I thought that they can't bring anything new in.
Legally.
Well, they're not because
It
so
just swam in.
too many people are watching them.
people are
They
watching,
can't
yeah.
make a move without getting hit.
And here, so two things. Well, the first thing was because I knew the two dolphin trainers so well in Niagara Falls. Like they loved the animals. The one actually went to Florida to work with. He became I think a marine biologist. But so I mean, there was no they weren't mean to them. Like whether the size of the tank, they loved those animals and took care of them. So
Right. I'm not-
good or bad. We
Right.
had nothing to say. But like I didn't know any different from them because they cared for them and all that stuff. And then the other thing is this roller coaster shit. Because my friend Sarah was like, it's a jerky roller coaster. It's a wooden roller coaster.
The old school.
That's the appeal.
Yeah.
Like everybody was like, but it's so jerky. Yes, that's what wooden roller coasters used to be.
Exactly.
Right.
You're supposed to get a little bit of whiplash and
Yeah.
jerk around.
They
and
were
get stuff.
engineered on
And
a
listening to that
on a-
sound.
Yeah.
Oh my God, yeah. So everybody's
Yeah.
saying that like it's a bad thing. And they're like, why would you get on that? It's so jerky. Because I love wooden roller coasters.
Right.
Like I miss them.
All
All
It's
of
a
the
thing,
new ones,
yeah.
though, are very smooth and wonderful. They're all designed on a computer. Those wooden ones were not. They were just thrown together by
90
people.
90 years old this week and a couple
I think
updates.
it'll work.
The best fucking time. So don't listen. If you like roller coasters, this is a roller coaster. If you don't like roller coaster, then you can hang on to that. It's a jerky roller coaster. Like,
Then
yes,
just
it is.
hold my purse.
Yeah. And that's what Harrison did. She held everybody's purses. And we were like, we swear one more time. We swear like one more time.
There has to be one.
And then the last
I
time.
don't know why it was so funny. I don't expect that phrase to ever come out of Kat Carlson.
Hold my purse.
Hold my purse.
But I have to tell you, the last time I got slammed forward and back, and seriously, it was like I can't even remember how many roller coasters. We rode so many at SeaWorld, and we rode that damn thing so many times that my body just took one last hit, and it was like, all right, old man.
We're done.
Yeah.
Oh.
You're going to be a trauma patient in a minute.
It tends to hurt a lot.
Oh my
more
God, it
than
was so
used
much
to.
fucking fun, though. And $6 a ride.
You're still laughing about
Nice.
the purse, aren't you?
Yes, I am.
Home uppers. So what'd you do?
Oh, I pale in comparison to you, but no, it has been a good week. I will start with the lower end that is less exciting a few, and then we'll end on a high note with it.
Huh?
It's no secret, and if it is a secret to you in the chat room or anybody who's listening to the show,
It's not anymore.
I have always been kind of a junk. I don't want to say a junker. Maybe people call me that.
Collector?
I love vacuums for some reason. I've always been partial to vacuums, and
That's not a surprise to
and I
anybody.
keep finding them,
Lawn
and they're in states of disrepair or not,
Kill
and they're
Surprise.
perfect. So this week's been been a banner week for vacuums.
It's National Vacuum Week.
on Sunday, Matt Little sends me a text at like 10:30 in the morning with a picture of a poor vacuum laying on the side of the road, and he sends it with the text message, 911 dispatch all units. So I texted him back telling him the make and model of said vacuum, and then later on I went to see if it was still there, and it was. Astounding, nothing's wrong with it. Except for one tiny little thing, the little handle or the clip that holds the handle upright broke off. $6 on eBay, it'll be here tomorrow.
Very nice.
Nothing's wrong with it. Perfect vacuum, it's a $100 vacuum. Then I was pulling out of Stacy's.
$94 vacuum.
Okay, now right, okay.
okay.
But I could
No,
turn.
just
I should be
saying.
able to turn and sell it for that.
I like that.
I'm just throwing that out.
So then, anyway, there's a couple blocks over behind Stacy's at Melrose,
and
the
Grill.
bar. Right. There's a house that they're moving out of right behind it, and when people move out, like there'll be a trailer by the house that they're loading shit into. Then there's this pile of crap that they're waiting for somebody to either pick up or to donate or whatever. Well,
That's the we're not moving this shit again pile.
right. 2 vacuums are in that pile, and I grabbed them. Guess what? One of them. No, listen to this.
Guess what?
Guess what? One of them is a
were meant to pick
$300
Shut the fuck
all
up.
metal Royal commercial vacuum.
Zootalore.
Perfect.
Well, kill Surprise.
And the other one was a $150 Hoover wind tunnel. Perfect vacuum again. I don't know what
People
these people
call me
do.
that.
What?
Hoover wind tunnel.
Well,
Yeah.
can we
Sucks on one end, blows on the other.
The suction fits.
yeah, but that one goes through a HEPA filter. You don't.
Yeah.
So it's
the
just
stomach.
those two things, and then that TV. Did I mention the TV last week or no?
No.
The 50-inch plasma TV.
No.
No.
Oh my God! Another friend of mine.
Is it coming to live in here?
It's already here. It's in the other room. It's in the other room. Anyway, a friend of mine on Facebook posted that he put a picture of this TV, and he's like, if somebody doesn't want this thing, I'm giving it to a non-for-profit. And I just messaged him. I'm like, okay, I don't know what other messages you posted, but I don't know what the deal is about this TV. And he goes, nobody wants it. He goes, I'm just going to get rid of it. I'm like, well, what's wrong with it? And he's like, well, just the HDMI doesn't work. He goes, but everything else is fine. It's a 50-inch flat screen television.
Yeah, but if you can't get the input to go in, then what's
Guess what I did?
cleaned it?
Went and got it, cleaned it, did
Works
some
just
research
fine.
online, found the part that was wrong. It'll be here soon. So for $40, I have another fucking flat screen TV. Now the problem with this one though is it's a plasma and it's heavy as you.
They
Yeah.
are heavy.
It's a
What, wait, what is that supposed to mean?
It's a 100-pound television.
Oh, that's nice. Thank you.
Or as Al calls it, light as a feather.
Right as a fire. Throw it.
I was
it's
concerned
easy.
for a minute because I felt like you were pointing at me and going, "It's as light as you."
Well,
I'm like, "Well,
no,
what?"
I meant
what are trying to
you as
say?
like anybody because it's 111 pounds. Anyway, the bigger
It's
thing
exactly
was
how much I weigh. Thank
the
you
bigger
for
thing
knowing.
was the kindness of friends and people is that yesterday I was on a service call at Stacy's at Melrose, going in to check on some software stuff for them. No, I was not there. I actually went in to do a service call because we were updating software. And Stacy says, "Hey, what are you doing tonight?" And I'm like, "Well, I'm gonna go home as soon as I leave here." And he goes, "I got an extra ticket. You want to go to Janet Jackson?" And I'm like,
Yes,
Yes, I do. Yes,
Yeah.
in fact, I do want to go to Janet Jackson. So I went, came home, changed clothes, went back, and we were getting ready to go. And he starts sorting through all of his tickets. And he's like, do you all have your tickets? And we all like, yeah, we've all got our tickets. He handed them all out. And then he thought he'd given 2 to the winner of the contest from the night before. And he's like, shit, he goes, I have an extra ticket. He goes, I think I shafted the winner out of a ticket.
Ruh-roh.
So I know the winner, Jack Medina. I sent a message to Jack, and I'm like, how many tickets does Stacy give you? And he goes like, 2. I'm good. I'm like, okay, you're good. So I'm like, well, Stacy, you've got an extra ticket. And he's like, well, I don't know what to do with it. I'm like, I know what to do with it if you'd like to. So I called Michael, and I'm like, what are you doing? He's like, well, I'm taking a nap. I'm like, get up, get dressed. You're going to Janet. So we all went to Janet, yada, yada. So anyway, we get there. You know how when you buy bulk tickets and you'll have like say you buy 12 tickets.
Okay.
You did. You buy 12 tickets. Well, that 13th ticket, it's a receipt.
Yeah.
No.
So we get there, and Stacy is laughing hysterically because he looks at all the tickets and he finds out that one of them
Was not a ticket.
that he gave away, well, it was a real ticket, and then he's stuck. So he just gave him his card and bought another ticket, and everybody went on. It was a great, great show. It was a walk down memory lane because some of these are 30-year-old songs.
Yeah.
Janet Jackson, who is 49, put on a hell of a show. If she's coming to a theater or an arena near you, please go see her. It's just the run through. The first 15 minutes was just pow, 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 pow of all of her hits. And then you forget shit that she did. I was hoping, because this is the first tour that she's done since Michael died. Michael, her brother, in case you didn't know, thin black woman, Michael Jackson was her brother.
White woman.
Has been
Nose
confused
job?
with
Had a nose job?
couple.
Maybe.
Yeah, couple of those.
I mean.
Finally got it right at the end. But anyway, I thought the tribute to him would have been larger. She just did a 35, 40-second snippet of Scream, where the duet between the two, and that was all that she did. And I really thought there would have been something bigger.
And how was the dancing?
Oh, fantastic. She's obviously, I'm going to guess, except for a couple of she did a set of like the slower ballad stuff that she's done. She did all of that with a different handheld mic, but everything else she'd done with the if you will, the Janet Jackson Madonna mic, which is on. And I know she's singing along, and I get it, but there's some enhancement going on there.
Okay, they just have the girls behind her sing louder.
Yeah, they were all doing that, but the choreography was fantastic. And when you see her go into stuff that Rhythm Nation and Control and all the stuff from back in the day, and you see her do the same ography, it was fantastic.
She's been doing it forever.
Oh, and I love If.
That's exactly
they
where I was going to go.
They did all that.
That's my favorite.
Yeah, and you could just look down in the crowd, because we were in a skybox, which, if you've never seen a concert in a skybox, go, because you don't have to deal with all those fucking people standing up in front of you, which drives me insane. I like to just sit and enjoy the concert.
Mm-hmm.
See, I'm the other way. I want to be close and I want to feel the people sweating.
No, I do not need that. But
But I also don't go to concerts anymore.
But when Mom and I went to Bette Midler, we were there with all the people who were members of AARP. Nobody stood up, which was fantastic. Some of them had oxygen tanks and chairs
Sure, like you do.
But it was
just couldn't.
right. They couldn't stand up. But anyway, so that was my week. It was a vacuum and television find, capping it off with a Janet Jackson concert
done.
last night. Which was a good time.
So many things.
And then the other thing, obviously, which we already went through at the beginning of the show, is this green screen, which the beautiful downtown Phoenix is what is
Gorgeous
currently there.
outside right now.
I need to find a nighttime shot of downtown Phoenix. But I don't know, it's kind of funny.
It's good.
Play the background.
Yeah, no, I liked it.
We should do that too.
I
also have a shout out. I'll do a little bit later. We want to. We got a. Where's the email? Hang on a minute. Stand by. We got an email from a listener.
Listener.
Where did it go? Oh, this one. I don't know if he's listening now. His name is Reed Knapp. He's a new listener to the show. He says, it is very interesting. I do actually enjoy the show very much. Perhaps many things I might not agree with, and some things I do. I do love listening, however. I find listening to you guys while I get up in the morning, having my coffee and taking a shower, as well as my long drive to work, is when he listens. I find I can't get through the whole show, so I keep listening to some parts over and over again. But it's great. I wish you guys could do more shows. Keep them coming. Thanks for being there and being interesting and fabulous. Big hugs to all of you. Namaste. And that, again, is from apparently a listener who's been listening for quite some time named Reed Knapp. Now, Reed, I don't know where you're from. This doesn't say in your email where you're from. So
How
if you
dare
are,
you not specify?
if you're in the email, or if you hear this, email us back and let us know where you are in the world, because it's important, and how you
So
self-identify.
we can show on the
and,
map.
it'd be-
and the weather.
And
It'd be
the
funny
weather.
to think
What's
if
the weather like
he's
there?
somewhere that he's listening live on the drive to work. You know what I mean? If he's in a part of the world where it's a live listen.
Right, like in
Oh,
Cairo,
that'd be
Egypt,
nice.
that guy that used to, and I
Yeah.
don't forget his name, but he used to listen to us on his drive to work.
Like
We were a,
morning show. Yeah, yeah.
morning show in
Well, so
Cairo.
that's Anant and Amina. It's morning.
Oh, that's
And
true.
Nero.
So if they know
Nero.
somebody named Reed Knapp, seek him out. Let him know that we've got him. Harrison, your vacuum bureaucracy, and immediately thought of you, Clayton. Well, thank you, Harrison. I'm glad that when things suck, you think of me. That's really nice to know.
Well, and like Aaron said, he knows who to call.
Oh, and I need an attachment. There's a specific attachment I need for that.
So leaving
the one
us
you
all
gave me.
alone.
that
Not a
was missing.
metaphor. Yes, it's the lint brush.
upholstery. I need the upholstery.
The lint brush is missing, and it's. I already have it in a search on my eBay. When you want it, you let me know.
Oh, I want.
Oh, we're good.
But not the lint brush, the upholstery one.
Oh, I don't know that yours. That one, I don't know. Actually, the vacuum you have used to be Marnie's. Marnie gave it to me.
Well, it's missing a part.
Would you look at that?
It's the light.
I
it's-
kept it on purpose.
Cough up the
It's
upholstery
the light blue
attachment.
little upright that you gave me.
Oh,
So
yeah.
long. That used to be at the old studio.
So
He
long
has it.
ago.
So many things.
So many
God,
things.
there's a lot going on.
Actually, that one used to be Jason's.
Jason Covert.
Yes.
Oh,
God.
Christ
And
Lord.
it,
It's a hand me over.
It is.
But it still works.
It
Where's
still
the
does.
bend me
Look
over?
at that.
Oh,
there
totes
you have
different.
it.
Totes.
Totes
Totes
different. Hey, guess what? Headlines are coming up in just seconds. Stay with us right here. It's Q Talk America.
You're listening to Q Talk America.
And now, we dance.
This is the Q Talk America Radio Network.
Alrighty, kids, here's headlines coming at you on this Tuesday, October 20th, 2015 on Q Talk America. Strap in and strap on, I guess.
Hey.
Hey, I'm in.
Liar, liar, pants on fire.
Cup of Joe, anyone?
Getting called out by your mom.
Get your gun oil.
I'm coming out.
Go on, girl.
A GOP gun blackout.
And it's your right.
And Totes My Goats really gets creepy in Niagara Falls. These and more stories coming up right now on Q Talk America on a Tuesday night. I need more coffee. Oh, I'm going to get more coffee, I'm sure. Anywho, well, I'm going to put this link in the chat room because I find that it might be helpful for people to...
Are there visual aids?
No, not for the story. I just think if people want to read the story and see more about it, they can find out right here.
Follow along.
So there's the story link. I just posted it in there. So, what are we looking for? Bottle opener right here. There's one right there. A Fox News guest terrorism analyst was ordered jailed by a federal judge in Virginia on Tuesday as he faces U.S. charges that he falsely claimed to have been a CIA agent for decades. The suspect, Wayne Simmons, who is 62 of Annapolis, Maryland, was denied release by U.S. Magistrate Ivan Davis. He cited Simmons's 11 arrests for driving under the influence, an arrest for a 2007 assault, and a firearms conviction as reasons to keep him behind bars. Now, Simmons is, quote, a significant danger to the community, according to Davis. A grand jury indicted him last week for portraying himself as, quote, an outside Parliament paramilitary special operations officer for the Central Intelligence Agency from 1973 to 2000. The indictment said Simmons allegedly tried to use the claim to get government security clearances and work as a defense contractor. At one point, he was deployed overseas as an intelligence advisor to senior military officers. He faces charges of major fraud against the United States, wire fraud, and making false statements to the government. He has been appearing on Fox News as a guest analyst on terrorism since 2002. Simmons, co-author of the thriller The Nathan's Directive, has a wide presence among conservative groups, and a profile on Amazon.com does say so. Fox News, a unit of 21st Century Fox, has said that Simmons has been a guest on the network and had not been paid. The indictment said that Simmons falsely claimed on national security forums that his arrest and convictions were CIA related and related also to his work, and that he had helped with top secret security clearances. The indictment also alleges that Simmons defrauded various victims out of $125,000 through bogus real estate investments. Fox News could not be reached for comment.
But Fox News anchor Neil Cavuto delivered an apology saying, if it's true that all our due diligence and vetting on Mr. Simmons missed this, that's big. And that's on me. Yeah, it's not on you.
No shit, Sherlock.
So here's their terrorism that's just been shitting all over everybody
Right.
for years. And he's a big fucking fake. It's just, I have it pulled up right here on my own.
I'm
because
sorry.
in case you guys didn't get to
You
it, I
were-
was
yeah.
like, this guy, he's a treat. He's a treat. Hasn't paid his mortgage since 2010. It's like a delinquent dad that came up with a really great lie and only Fox News bought it.
Right.
But he wrote a
Typical,
book.
though.
Adding to this, because it's been in the news so much lately of how it's really shown that the GOP has really been on board for slamming Hillary Clinton in regards to Benghazi. This guy also spoke at a 2013 forum sponsored by the Citizens Committee on Benghazi, probing the deaths of the 4 Americans in Libya that were killed back in 2012. So again, the GOP has shown their cards and explained that they really just were trying to malign Hillary Clinton with this Benghazi thing. And they get a guy who has no credentials that are valid at all.
No, and his lawyer, Whitney Minter,
Pardon me.
argued that Simmons was not a flight risk because he has strong family and historic ties to his home in Maryland that he hasn't made a
Payment on
since 2010. She also argued that he knew for 2 years about the investigation against him and did not attempt to run for authorities. Well, why would you?
No.
You're on Fox News getting your dick sucked. Like, come
Sure.
on.
And they said he wasn't paid. You're bullshit.
Yeah.
Somebody
Well,
was.
they all have to say that. They find ways to like bonus them, or maybe it's a free muffin basket every once in a while.
Ooh, muffin. I like muffin baskets. Very
Those
nice.
mini muffin baskets go like hotcakes.
Especially at a Benghazi hearing. I'm sure. Ryer?
Well, if you'd like to have a cup of Joe and you'd like to have it black, you might be a psychopath.
Oh, not this again. All right, go.
Why?
Oh no, this has been plaguing me on social media because I drink black coffee. Please.
so
let's
that's
throw
why-
the listeners
that's
in.
why
And
I
I'll-
thought of
Yeah,
this
yeah.
for the two of you.
Yeah.
Liking bitter taste is tied to everyday sadism.
Just everyday sadism. That's the name of our band.
Normal?
Oh my God!
Everyday sadism sings the
sadism.
hits.
Now,
Clearly
if you're-
a disco cover band.
Yeah,
if you're
clearly.
dating someone new, interviewing for a new job, no matter your circumstances, it may be time to start paying attention
While
to
you
how the
read-
people around you
I'm gonna
order
go
their
actually
coffee.
get coffee while you're
Please do. Add some cream. A just-in-time for Halloween study published in the Journal of Appetite revealed that people who like their coffee black are more likely to possess antisocial and psychopathic personality traits. I burst out laughing
I'll own
because
it.
I did think of the two of you. It was fantastic. This now gives us a moment to recall the people who might enjoy their coffee black. So let's all think about it. The research,
Al
which
Perkins,
comes from the University
Carlson.
of Innsbruck in Austria, examined the taste preferences of about 1,000 people, finding those who preferred more bitter notes in food, like black coffee, scored higher on a series of personality questionnaires that assessed Machiavellianism, a term used in psychology to describe personalities that are dark, psychopathic, narcissistic, and sadistic.
I agree with all of these assessments. Yeah.
Yeah, yikes on that. The study also notes that participants who reported a fondness for other bitter foods like radishes, celery. I didn't consider celery ever to be a bitter noted.
Well, without the ranch, it sure is.
Maybe. I guess I never picked up on that. And
To me, it has no flavor. at
Without
all.
the
Tonic
buffalo
water.
sauce on one side and the ranch on the other, like,
Yeah.
well, it's a little bitter.
Were more likely to exhibit these psychopathic
Oh my
traits.
God, I love
From
celery.
the standpoint of physical health, ordering your morning cup free of milk and sugar earns 2 thumbs up. Coffee provides some major proven benefits as varied as increased feelings of happiness, decreased risk for some cancers, and improved brain function. Straight black coffee drinkers, so that's not you two,
No, well,
are reaping the
close. We were so close.
I enjoy
reaping
the pun.
benefits
Yeah.
without
I enjoy the pun.
consuming
I'll allow it.
the added calories and fat. So then, what does all this mean? It doesn't mean much because the study was small and the data self-reported a notoriously unreliable metric. Other research has found that food preferences change over time as well. So While a person may detest radishes or bitter coffee at one point in their lives, they may crave them during another. Still, the researchers hope this novel look at the connection between personality and eating behavior will lead to further study. I think the psychopathic eating, like some kind of it, would be cannibalism.
Yeah, exactly. That'd be psychopathic
that
eating.
Might be
Yeah.
the psychopathic tendencies right there. But anyway, they did include in here an eligibility survey for your first-time daters. Why waste time? And it just says, how do you take your coffee? And on a scale of 1 to 10, how much do you like radishes? So apparently, if you have those two things and you get the answers from there, it's very.
I love my
but
black
love
coffee.
that.
I
Yes, you
enjoy
do.
celery. I have never understood what the fuck to do with a radish.
No, I don't. Apparently, when I was a little psychopath,
Dip them in ranch. That's what I do with radish.
When I was,
Well, that's the answer to everything.
Oh, yeah, okay, right.
What do you do with the human parts? Dip them in ranch.
ranch.
Yeah,
Ranch.
that's fair.
Ask Dahmer.
Yeah.
Maybe a little A1 sauce. Like,
Yeah. Go either way.
Nice. I enjoy it.
we were in Maryland for about maybe a year of my life before we went to. My parents were in the service, and so
Oh, sure.
when before we went to Minnesota, and there were some folks that lived right by us that I guess the kids always ate radishes, and so I was very much into eating the radishes. I was very young, and I would like cry for them. I also cried for liver up until the time I was about 3, and would like
That's a
throw
filthy
fits in the
food.
store.
Couldn't
Yeah, not
be
anymore.
okay.
Not
Cannot.
anymore. Not anymore.
And now with what I do for a living, I do not
like,
want.
not a
do not
chance.
cook that and eat it.
no.
But it was, that was
Nature's
just these little
filter.
things. But
I want to
now-
read that cow's daily journal. Where'd you go?
Yeah,
What'd you eat?
What happened? There you go.
Yeah.
But now I can't. The thought of, even as I was growing up, the thought of radishes, just it doesn't.
I'm not sure I
can
could pick a
detect
radish
them.
out of a lineup.
Yeah, I can detect it.
Yeah,
in stuff. Yeah.
You
you
are you a
could.
parsnip?
Yeah.
Are you a radish?
And it was one of those
Turnip?
things
I'm
that
not really sure.
my grandmother, I guess they must grow like weeds because my grandmother was very successful at growing radishes.
Nothing else.
So they were always fucking at the house, but not fucking at the house. That sounds so wrong.
Yeah,
Wow.
right.
Wow. That's a rough
Careful
place to
with
put that word.
punctuation.
Especially with the grandmother in the sentence. And it was one of those foods that you would eat and be like, oh, why?
Why
What
do you eat
happened?
that?
I mean, it wasn't.
Don't you burp a lot after radishes? Isn't that one of the things that happens, if I'm not
I
mistaken?
ask why a lot after eating radishes, and even now, like it'll be on something, and I'm like, why? I don't get
Go
it.
find some radishes.
But it's one of those foods that you just kind of like walk by and like,
Yeah.
okay.
No need. But I appreciate.
I
your
like
innocence.
horseradish. I don't know what the hell that is.
I
or what
enjoy
kind,
that too.
but I like it.
myself.
I do
Oh,
enjoy
that's a
that.
No argument here. Harrison says that I love my black coffee, radishes, and celery. So maybe that's a good tie-in.
Coffee's a good excuse for me to drink vanilla creamer.
Yes.
I know a lot of your people bag of nope.
Yeah. I like it.
I've met your tribe.
I appreciate badassery and judgy glares. Sir. Take it away.
Oh no, it's a disguise. Who are you now?
Oh no! I have to read. I have to read a.
Where did
part of the
Superman
story.
I know. Jesus.
Or should we all do that? Because, Clayton,
What?
should we all do that?
Oh, we
now?
should all be able to. Well, eventually this whole
I'm pretty
show's
sure mine
gonna
will
be.
disappear though.
No, I want to
Mine-
see it.
Not really.
No.
Not really, no.
Dang it.
No, not at
Oh
all.
yeah, I mean, you turn to the side. Yeah, look at that.
Now it's
Oh,
your glasses are now a building in Phoenix.
Yes.
good God. No, it's the next story that I have to read. That I have to read part of it for. So that was why for their glasses. I'll do this final story before we move on to get our drinking word here in just a minute. A man posted a racist meme about immigrants on his Facebook page, starting a ridiculous conversation. And in the comments thread below, it went just crazy, which always happens, and I'm sure Obama was blamed somewhere.
Yeah.
About how horrible immigrants are for the country. Well. Then the original poster's mom chimed in with a revelation that she had been saving, I guess, his whole entire life, and it resulted in one of the best moments on the internet when somebody just really gets their comeuppance, if you will. She probably hadn't been saving it for a moment like this one, but it could not have come at a better time. So he actually posts on there something about this image is the ultimate argument why immigrants do not and never will have a capacity to hold any decent position in our country. And then it goes on and on. Different people chime in. You're right. They never will. They never should. Good thing that we don't have any immigrants in our office. And it goes on and on. Like, regardless of how many years and generations they live here, or even next to us, they'll never be as capable as we are. It goes on and on with all these
Wow.
stupid, horrible things. Well, you go about, I don't know how long this goes in. Well, finally, apparently his mom is his friend on Facebook.
Oh, that's rare.
Mom chimes in. And mom wins on this one. My dearest son, hate to break this racist orgy up between you and your indigenous friends. We never meant to tell you this, and maybe I shouldn't even be doing it now, but you have really crossed the line on this one, so you deserve this, if nothing else.
Ruh-roh.
I just wanted to tell you that we, your dad and me, adopted you 23 years ago when you were 2 years old from an American family who was at the time living in Sofia, Bulgaria. Yep. You're an immigrant.
That's still awesome.
And adopted. Was the adoption news to him too?
But yes, it was. Still nothing to be ashamed of. You still turned out to be a young, successful banker with a great life.
And a bigot.
Yeah. Well, wait.
No, good work.
So you still turned out to be a young, successful banker with a great life. Guess those dirty foreigners with their dirty genes are just capable of achieving damn near anything. P.S. We are still expecting you for lunch on Sunday. I'm preparing spaghetti bolognese. Hope that's not too foreign for you. Love, Mom.
That's a beautiful
great.
story. I mean, that's fantastic.
Oh, that is
That
good.
I thought was fantastic. That is.
I like that very much.
So be careful what you post. Who's reading? Who's watching?
I know. Queen Cunt Ann Coulter last week on The View called her. She's not from immigrants. Her people were settlers. That's the new euphemism for
called-
white people that are immigrants. They're settlers.
Aren't they still called invaders?
Kind of like what in Katrina, the white people are brave and the brown people are looters.
Looting thugs, right?
Yeah.
Sure. Oh my heavens! Well, we've done it. Hour one is in the bag. We're not really. It's kind of a calm night here in Phoenix, Arizona. We are in Studio C. You're watching the show. We've got more to come right after this. The drinking word. Al Perkins is going to give it to us, and then some more headlines and more frivolity. Stay with us, won't you? We'll be right back.
You've been listening to The Show on Q Talk America. This is Q Talk America.
The following broadcast contains adult humor, language, and topics, along with partial nudity. Actual knowledge is used sparingly. The show is a result of a lost bet and a bad game of rock, paper, scissors. It's The Show with Clayton McKee. And now, a man with a face for radio, Clayton McKee.
Hello again, everybody. It is just past the beginning of hour two. Well, this is the beginning of hour two. We're not just past it. I mean, you didn't miss it. You've missed a lot, though. We've had an hour of talking somewhat incoherently about several topics. Yeah, I got it. If you're just joining us, you can see that we're broadcasting live from our studios, which are overlooking beautiful downtown Phoenix, Arizona.
It's a beautiful day today.
Oh, as usual.
The sun never sets.
No, it's Phoenix.
Yeah.
It always rises.
Sun is always shining.
Sun always rises.
Birds are always singing.
Exactly how it goes. I'll find a nighttime shot of that. We can use that. It'll be fantastic. Ah, my heavens. Well, as we do at the beginning of each and every second hour, we do something we like to call our drinking disclaimer, and I think it goes a little something like this, if I can find it, and right here. This one.
And now, a drink along. We dare you to stay awake during this royalty-free music and to play a drinking game with us. If you are currently or soon to be driving a car, you cannot play. If you are presently the primary caregiver for children and or the elderly, you may desperately want to play, but no. If you are listening from a rehab facility, you are disqualified because you already hit bottom. And that means you already won this game at least once. If playing this game is in any way illegal for you, put the bottle down and make better life choices. There is no good in your goodbye, and there is no lifeguard on duty, so you will be swimming at your own risk. Tell your lawyer to take the fucking day off. You can't sue us. We warned you. Good luck.
You put the echo on the end of that too.
Yeah.
I didn't.
I just heard
Yeah, like echo.
What?
Take that out.
What?
Okay, so this comes with a tiny bit of backstory. So people that write hashtag YOLO, I just want to fucking kill them
Yeah.
fast. Now we're all echoing. Or is that just you on major echo?
No.
So, anyways, the day that we went to Belmont Park the first time, we had just, the girls and I had gotten up. A friend had invited us to go meet her for drinks. I told the girls, don't bathe, because if we bathe, then we'll be encouraged to stay out drinking all day. But if we don't take a shower, we just run clothes, we meet them for a quick drink and a snack, we'll come home. Well, we didn't. We went over to Belmont Park for the first time and rode some rides, stanky asses that we were, and a little buzzed. We go on this ride that like spins around and then flips on its side, and you do all this crazy shit, and it kind of makes you weightless, and you fly up in the air. We were just, and we had carny feet because they were black from being barefoot in this park. Right, gross. So the one time it's the three of us and all these little kids from some kind of a Catholic high school or middle school. So they're all on the ride with us, and they're like screaming and yelling, and everybody fucking like just carrying on. And we were so excited to get on this ride for the first time. And the one little kid was chanting something, and I thought he was chanting YOLO, and I was like, oh, get me the fuck out of this park. And then Danielle, and then they had to move us around because, as I explained to Danielle and Tiffany, we were the only three people that had been through puberty yet. So they had to distribute our weight around amongst the children. So she's warning the kid about swearing and that she's trying to get her alcohol blood mix right, and she needs her blood to give up and let the alcohol win. And he starts telling her about like Catholics and blood, and he goes, and you gotta forgive us, but we're gonna scream Yodo the whole time. And I'm like, Yoda? And he's like, no, Yodo, you only die once. And I'm like, oh, that's fantastic, from an 11-year-old. So they're like hands up on the ride, like screaming Yodo, and the YOLO drives me crazy, like, but the only die once, very accurate. So our drinking word is Yodo, you only die once.
Sold.
And I don't know why that slight change made me not hate people anymore, but I was completely sold on these little kids. And the best part is the ride ended, there was nobody in line, so these little kids are chanting like, one more time, one more time, one more time. And the rider was like looking like, okay, I can't fight 20 of you. So he lifts up the seats thinking that me and Danielle and Tiffany, like the adults, are going to be annoyed. And he's like, if you guys want to get off, just get off. And I'm just going to ride the ride again. And we're like, YOLO! YOLO! Again, we were trash.
I was like, how many bottles of wine in was this?
We were pretty far into the not bathing all drinking day.
I like it.
But you only die once.
You do.
Yoda.
So you might as well get flipped upside down.
Polo.
Yeah.
So in honor of 12-year-olds everywhere.
So you only die once, or Yodo is our drinking word. Marnie Ryer, continue on.
So get your gun oil.
Ooh,
Oh, I read this story.
I like that lube.
Well, maybe. An Alabama Walmart.
Oh, show us
Can we see the
Walmart.
map?
I mean, show us Alabama.
Wait.
Where's Alabama?
We have to go. Let's go to Kate
Alabama.
Carlson, who will show us where it is on the map.
Carlson shows us Alabama.
Somewhere here.
It's one of those two that kind of go back to back with each other. It's either the purple or the pink.
I think it's that one.
Yeah,
Is that one?
I think it's
That's that one. That's Alabama.
Yeah.
Because Mississippi, then Louisiana.
Georgia's the yellow one next to it.
Yeah.
Georgia, I got that on my mind.
Yeah, Georgia's on your mind.
Florida
And then
sits down
Alabama's
from
on your
that,
finger.
yeah. Yep.
And then Mississippi.
Alabama.
Wait, what? No, that's Louisiana.
Mississippi.
No, Louisiana's
that's
on the
Louisiana.
canal.
That's
Louisiana's helpful because it looks like an L.
Right.
Oh, that's a good point.
Yeah.
That's Arkansas.
It's our
That's
Kansas.
Kansas.
North Kansas. That's the other Kansas.
Arkansas and your Kansas.
That's the less popular Kansas.
Well, that Alabama Walmart was about as clueless as we were with the map.
We found it.
Eventually,
Pretty much.
just like they did. Just like they did.
That was a lovely segue. That was good.
They cluelessly stocked the gun counter with gun oil lube. Yes, they did. Oh, this just made my week when I read this. A Walmart shopper in Alabama got a bit of a surprise while browsing the store's gun department. Jamie Lee Bracey stumbled across gun oil, a lubricant popular with gay men, stocked among the store's weaponry wares back on September 18th. According to a video that Bracy had posted on Facebook, the Walmart in Florence, Alabama had the product readily available for sale at its gun counter. It says water-based lubricant for your gun, Bracy said in the video. I was like, water-based? That could rust, right? Let's see here.
Not so far.
Oh my God, rusty gun.
Long time user, first time caller. No rust.
Let's
Is there a trombone player in the house?
Yeah.
Let's see here. Long-lasting lubrication with easy cleanup. Glycerin and paraben-free. Wetter, lighter feel than silicone. Oh, that sounds good. That sounds really good. I think my gun would work really good, wetter and lighter. Then I see the ginseng and guarana to promote blood flow, and I'm like, what? For
Promoting
topical use,
blood flow. I love it.
apply desired amount to genital areas. Boom!
Goes the dynamite.
Thanks, good people of Walmart in Florence, Alabama, for your very literal thinking, which gave us all the good laugh. That
And the
we
gun owner
had.
learned you can only die once.
Well, there was an update. Brian Nick, a representative for Walmart, confirmed that the store does carry the gun oil.
An
but
avid
noted
user of the product.
that the personal lubricant is normally stocked in the store's pharmacy area. Nick added, "We're not sure how an individual product ended up in another part of the store."
That's somebody late at night having a little bit of a good time.
Or they're just that fucking stupid.
Or they really
Because
just
if you look
thought-
at it, if I'm not mistaken, on the label there is a picture of a gun,
It is.
Oh, yeah.
a gun, and it says gun oil.
Well, it looks like a bullet is...
Well, that one.
Yeah, wow.
That one's what to do with the empty bottle afterwards.
Hello.
or full.
Serving suggestion, exactly, or before.
Yodo.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, somebody has to have in their headlines, don't make me look it up, don't make me look it up. The lady trying on the thing in the grocery store?
We'll find it. I don't
Negative.
have
I'm gonna
it.
go.
Let Kat have it.
Yeah.
Give me a little more detail.
I didn't hear about it.
I'll send you a message. All right.
Anyway, but I thought that was fantastic.
Kat, I like how Kat is Facebook messaging me images of Phoenix skylines at after dark. I appreciate that. I appreciate that. I'll get right on that. That's funny.
Yeah.
I'm like, why is there a message from Kat? She's right there.
Well, 'cause
It's the
And
it's-
thank you, Bag a Note, for the link. That really is funny. It's what's his face from The Office.
The Office, Dwight.
You live
Dwight
every
Schrute.
day. You only die once.
Meme queen of the North Valley. Bag of nope.
I like it.
How am I going to get this over there? That's what I got to figure out how to do.
Click and drag.
Well, I can't. Not
Apparently.
from this to that.
Well, sure you can.
No, I can't.
What? Email, perhaps? Thumb drive? Do you need a thumb drive? Here, I got one.
No, because if I put a
So
thumb
just
drive
like
in
this
anything,
headline.
it'll- no, we can't do that.
Next caller.
Next caller.
Ooh, that's a nice picture.
Isn't that a nice-
It really
a
is
nice
nice.
view?
That is nice.
And having a party.
I don't even think all the buildings are in that shot. That's an older picture.
No, that's what I thought, Aaron, too. Skinamax. Phoenix Skylines After Dark. Now with gun oil.
Lighter
Yes.
and more blood flow.
In
And
the
more blood
produce
flow.
aisle.
I like.
You get it next to the celery and the radishes.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Fucking radish.
You don't need enough
man.
you know what? Celery makes things not bitter.
Oh.
Use your imagination.
Let it go. Let it go. Apparently, are you done with the gun oil story?
I'm all done.
We're gonna
I
move
think we
on.
beat that one.
Yeah.
Come to find out, Americans are coming out on Facebook more than ever before, and the numbers keep rising. The social network has announced on this last Thursday. Time to coincide with the anti-bullying LGBT supporting Spirit Day on October 15th, which was,
5 days ago.
Same days ago?
Math.
Yeah, this is the 20th, so 5 days ago. The
Math
Facebook
ago.
research post goes into detail
Math ago.
on the math. The Facebook research post goes into detail on the numbers, locations, and history of people coming out, or at least broadcasting their out statuses online. Over the past year, approximately 800,000 Americans updated their profiles to express a same-gender attraction or custom gender. The blog post says that type of profile updated is what Facebook counted as, quote, coming outs. Though it warned that the resulting numbers were almost certainly significantly lower than the actual numbers of gay and lesbian, bisexual, and transgender folks on the social network. The coming out numbers are higher because more and more people are doing so each day on average. More than 3 times as many people come out by Facebook standard per day now than they did a year ago. In addition, there was a huge spike in status changes On the day, the U.S. Supreme Court made marriage for same-sex couples legal nationwide. Likes and follows of LGBT-supported pages and organizations have likewise increased. I think that's cool.
It is.
It's interesting.
And it's National Coming Out Month. Am I right?
Yes, National Coming Out Day was last week at some point.
Was the 11th, I think? Is that
I
right?
think it usually is.
The
Yeah.
11th, right?
Yeah.
Now, all of this information varies by region, of course. As the map, in the story of the map, the researchers published show, some states have a much greater proportion of people out online, with like the likes of Nevada and New York. And oddly, Alabama and Mississippi bringing up the rear, no pun intended.
Get the gun oil, please.
Yes. Out of the
Sally's trying to bring up the rear again.
Oh Lord.
Now, Kat, would you like to show everybody where the two on the map, Mississippi and Alabama?
Mississippi. MISSISS. I don't know. And then,
Spelling later.
and then Bama Lama's over here in the pink, right?
Now, where's Nevada and New
Oh,
York?
Nevada is over here. Vegas lives here.
Y Nueva York.
You're going to be a shitty weather girl.
Seriously.
I'm just getting the hang of this thing. It's brand new.
All right.
You're doing really well, though.
New York's over here.
That's the city. Where's the
Broadway
state?
lives here. Oh, the rest of the state's over here.
Yeah.
The
Other
green.
people live there.
Tickle the Finger Lakes. Tickle the Finger Lakes.
Niagara
boy.
Falls is like here.
It's between the no. It's between.
We're
the
not
two.
ready for the
Right
Niagara
there?
story yet. We got to come back to that.
We'll come back to that. Stick your finger between the two lakes.
I'm afraid of that.
That right there. That's Niagara
Yeah.
Falls.
I feel like I should buy them dinner first.
Yeah, right.
It's how the two lakes
Something.
meet.
That's the
Spoiler
tip.
alert.
Just the tip.
Spoiler alert. Yeah,
the tip.
sticks the tip in the other one.
Huh?
Gun oil.
Money shot on the first date.
Money
there.
shot on the first date. It is.
Yodo.
Yeah.
Yodo.
Big load of water.
Yes.
Yodo. So go on, girl. Go on, girl. We have 21 creative euphemisms because we do like the euphemisms.
Oh, we enjoy them.
I love a euphemism.
For female masturbation.
Air quotes make everything.
Oh, these are specific.
Specific.
I feel
For-
like I'm gonna enjoy this in advance.
Female masturbation is great, but calling it female masturbation, not always fun.
No,
the
it's
Not
bean.
always fun.
No,
doesn't roll off the tongue.
Sometimes you need.
YOLO.
I can pun.
All right.
I'm gonna mark down how many of these I already recognize.
While there are many fun and common euphemisms for male masturbation, women often
Slapping the
are often
salami.
left
Shaking hands with Mr. Lincoln.
empty-handed. Empty-handed. so to speak.
Empty-handed.
Maybe if we
Choking
gave
the
women
chicken.
more names for dialing their rotary phones, we'd be more inclined to talk
that's-
about female masturbation. in
That's a good
general.
one. Dialing a
Alright.
rotary phone.
That's
That's good times.
I mean, you guys have like charming the snake, so why can't we get a fair share of choices?
that's true.
Call the operator gun. Call the operator gun.
Operator.
You're a,
Too many ones in that number. Too many ones in that number.
you're a speed dialer.
Maybe that's why we purr. So number one,
What?
menage a moi.
I believe that one. I feel like that one's kind of a unisex term.
It could be.
I feel like that'd be anybody.
Absolutely. Number two, not so unisex, paddling the pink canoe.
I like the little man in the boat.
Uh-huh,
Yeah.
Number three, finger painting.
That's really gross. Think that one through a little bit.
Number four is visiting the safety deposit box. that's a lot.
There is a substantial penalty for early withdrawal.
Yes, there is.
Yodo.
I'll bite your finger off.
Yeah.
Dialing.
Nobody's
the
done,
rotary
so I'm
phone.
done.
Yeah, exactly.
We have number five, dialing the rotary phone.
That's my favorite so far.
Number six, auditioning the finger puppets. That one I've not heard. I do appreciate that. I like
that's
that.
good.
This
That's
one
good.
fits.
Sponsored by Henson Creation.
Do they fit together? Can they fit as a trio? Have you thought about a quartet?
Everybody.
Number seven, woman-splaining yourself. I don't like that. I don't even like to
That's
say
trying
it.
too hard.
It's a lot, right? Engaging in safe sex.
Yeah.
Getting lost in the deep end.
Oh.
Oh.
Jillin' off. Jillin' off instead of jacking
Jake
off.
Gyllenhaal.
Yeah.
Jacking off, jillin' off.
Oh.
DIY time.
That
Makes it
one's
sound
good.
like a cheap cable
That
channel.
means you're gonna watch it on HGTV.
We could,
We're gonna
right.
DIY this one.
We're doing that. Yeah. Doing a Meg Ryan. Fanning the fur.
Oh.
Fanning. Wow. Yoda.
For the long time lonely girl.
Yes. Yes. The 1970s lonely girl.
Oh,
Who's got
girl.
sideburns?
That's right. Oh, girls' night in. Number 5 or 15.
Girls.
Excuse me. Checking the undercarriage.
That's fun.
Number 16. The downstairs DJ.
There it is.
Buttering your muffin.
Yes.
That's it. I think that's when it's doing it right.
18.
Yeah.
Visiting the Bat Cave.
Okay, that's my favorite. I'm writing that down. Batcave.
That gives a little commentary on why you're doing it yourself. If it's taken on qualities of the Batcave, you may be alone for a reason.
You may be.
That's
Number
funny.
19 is knitting.
Knitting?
Number 20
gross
is,
too.
20
not
is my
okay.
favorite. Diddling Miss Daisy. That's my favorite.
That's a good one.
And 21, playing the piano. So
I've never.
those are the
that-
21
The
What
bat-
song?
euphemisms. I know, right? Exactly. Well, I'm
Batcave is good. The
Finger in
knitting
the
one is
keys,
not
I'm
okay
just
because
finger in the
because
keys.
we had that story about the woman who was knitting from her vagina.
oh, that's true.
Oh, yeah.
That's not okay. Hashtag that is not.
The wet yarn in the Batcave. We got wet yarn in the Batcave.
Do you
I'm gonna
remember that?
throw up.
Oh God, I almost threw
And you
up.
remember, you have to be very
That
careful
story.
because if you're in the bat cave, you might flood your basement.
Only if you're doing it right.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
I think
got
when
a
you flood the
basement flooding.
You don't mind.
Didn't Batman have a boat too? It's totally fine.
The bat boat.
Totally
No.
fine.
Well,
He
looks
is
like a
he's the
canoe.
little man in the canoe.
That's Robin.
Waterworks encouraged.
Does this come with a shower?
I hope so.
Before and after, maybe.
Diddling Miss Daisy.
Diddling Miss Daisy.
I'm all about diddling Miss Daisy. What you doing back there, Miss Diddling Miss Daisy?
One of my favorite old jokes is they made a sequel to Driving Miss Daisy. It's called Let the Bitch Walk.
Oh, I like that.
I love that joke. Kyoto, bitch, get out and walk.
Oh,
Crusty old cunt.
You bitch. I love it.
I love gilding the lily. I've heard that a lot.
oh,
Yeah. Yes.
Beating around the bush, muffin, polishing the
Oh my
pearl.
God, that's it. Polishing the pearl, sure. I like it. Not a girl bag.
Yeah.
I like it.
Bagging up. I feel like you've spent a lot of time thinking about
Well,
this.
she may have written this. Let me see.
She may have written this.
I appreciate that Alana Vagianos did write this.
Oh,
though. So that's,
sure.
that's fantastic.
Nope. Was that one of your screen names back in the day? Is this from your long ago blog?
Dial zero. Dial zero. Dial zero. Smaller numbers. Smaller numbers.
Because the 9 was far away, so you started 9.
Look at Harrison.
Nine.
Petting the kitty, visiting a friend downtown.
9.
Please.
Checking the undercarriage is wrong too.
Oh, yes. oh,
Oh, I feel.
Lord.
Oh my God. Well, let's move.
We've always been really a show for the ladies, I think.
Oh, yes, right?
Well, it's 3 against 1.
Yeah. I've never gone knitting.
Oh, missing.
No.
Let me tell you, there's no yarn coming out of that.
Not anybody wants.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
That's great.
I know. We've a bridge too far.
That knitting thing just makes me want to throw up every time.
You only vomit once. Yovo.
I've laughed so hard that the muscles in the back of my head hurt when I smile. Oh my God.
I do like Yovo. That's good.
That is good.
Pepto.
That'd be good on a roller coaster too. You only vomit once.
It's true. Yovo Yodo. Make shirts.
Make shirts.
Right?
I do love a good t-shirt.
Doing it right.
Well, has anybody either listening or in this room ever wonder why Republican Party has trouble attracting minority voters?
Nope.
I wonder all the time.
It could be because of inflammatory
Pray
and
tell.
stupid comments about blacks and Hispanics by respected GOP leaders like former Arizona Republican Party Chairman Randy Pullen.
Kel Surprise.
Oh.
He's an asshole.
While watching Tuesday night's Democratic presidential candidate debate, Pullen tweeted that black people are the, quote, main killers in society and suggested that taking away their guns is the answer. In a tweet, Here is what he said, and I am quoting. Yes, Black Lives Matter. The best way to end the slaughter of young black men is to take guns away from blacks, as they are the main killers. Pullen wrote in a 6:55 p.m. Arizona time tweet. The former GOP chairman has been following the discussion led by moderator Anderson Cooper about the Black Lives Matter movement when he fired off his remark on social media. The tweet quickly drew massive criticism. One of his Twitter followers tweeted, quote, "Congrats, crazy." Arizona made national news again. One of them, ex-Arizona GOP chairman Randy Pullen, tweets that blacks are society's main killers and suggests stripping them of all of their guns. Pullen's correct that most young black men are killed by other black people, but then again, most white people are killed by other white people. So statistics don't bear out the idea that black people do most of the killing in the United States either. FBI crime stats show that white people committed 4,849 murders in 2010. However, while black people committed 5,770, again, those are according to FBI statistics. But the stats also show that 4,224 murders were committed by someone whose race was unknown. The most striking difference in the FBI stats when it comes to murder offenders is that one between men and women. But Pullen isn't about to emphasize that men are the main killers in the country, or to suggest even satirically that the best way to end the slaughter of Americans in general might be to allow only women of any race to own guns.
That's
what
a good answer.
Fucking retard he was. So, excuse me, Marty.
He qualifies, though.
Really?
He doesn't. That's the problem. That's the problem with using the word incorrectly. Because the people that are
genuinely
have developmental disabilities are far more intelligent
than
that.
Definitely that guy. You're correct.
I mean, so let's give credit to the right people. He's just a dickwad.
Yeah, I'll go with that too.
Blech. Sorry, I wasn't attacking you on that one. It's just that to not give people credit and to give him any. He's a.
But I like that he got taken down almost immediately. Not like taken off Twitter, but like he was attacked almost immediately as like, come on, Arizona. We want to make fun of the other states.
Arizona needs any
help. Yeah.
Right, we don't. But typically we're outrun by Florida. But for this one,
well, and Huckabee tried his best too, talking about it's like leaving your dog. What was it that he said? Oh my God, it was right after. Let's see, it's right. I have it right here.
Go to the map.
Huckabee.
I don't remember that one.
He put something on right away, and it was like leaving your dog with a Korean cook or something.
Oh, no, you are correct. I did read something about that.
He kills his career with the most racist #DemDebate tweet of the night. I trust Bernie Sanders with my tax dollars like I trust a North Korean chef with my Labrador. And everybody went... Really?
Well, you only tweet once.
It's not
Yodo.
Yoto
Bowl.
Hashtag Yoto.
Yoto Bowl. Got that one.
That took a minute.
Oh, I wasn't ready for a food reference like that one.
I mean, this clown.
Huckabee just can't get himself unelected faster. Yeah.
God,
he can't drive that bus any faster into a tree if he tried.
Seriously. Damn shame. Oh, God. So, are you done, fine, sir?
Oh, yeah, with that story, yes. Continue on.
So, this one goes in a little bit different direction, a little bit more serious, but I thought fantastic. I've had this one for 2 weeks.
Breaking news.
Breaking news, kind of, but I don't believe it was discussed. California Governor Jerry Brown had signed the Right to Die bill. Did you see that?
No, we actually didn't.
We didn't discuss that.
I'm sorry, I know I had it on my list, but I don't know if I brought it up.
Yeah.
No, we didn't.
No.
I saw this and I was fascinated by it because I just think it's right. But that's just my opinion. As California Governor Jerry Brown pointed out, this was not just any other piece of legislation. By definition, it was a matter of life and death. The crux of the matter is whether the state of California should continue to make it a crime for a dying person to end his life. What are you going to do? Put him in prison?
Right.
I mean, like,
You only
for real.
die once.
Fuck you, Yoda.
So if it was a crime, does that mean that you would then die with a tarnished record?
Apparently.
Like they would put the cause of death and you'd be a bad person.
The
I'm
unfortunate
not
thing that
sure with
happens
this.
is that they can and sometimes do prosecute people who helped or knew about and didn't stop. That's the problem.
Exactly.
The dead people are
Exactly.
still going to be dead, but
Right.
the surviving
doctor,
support.
if,
I
if a
guess-
family,
Then it becomes a crime.
Well, aside from that, I guess one of the other things would be it would immediately null and void any insurance
That's
claim.
exactly
if
right.
you decide to kill yourself. I
if
mean,
they have that clause in there.
right.
Right.
I mean, you're not going to be
right.
like the idiot here in town that purposely drove his
Yes.
entire family into Tempe Town Lake and killed them all,
Yes.
premeditated. It's that I get.
Well, that's not right to die. That's killing people.
No. But I'm
right.
saying is the line between if you kill yourself, however, it would negate an insurance policy. I'm sure that's one of the things, aside from the criminal aspect of it that you're
Sure.
talking about.
Well, you remember
there are other
everything
people-
with Kevorkian.
right? And what's her name in Florida? Shivo.
Shivo, Terry Shivo.
Don't even get me started.
And this had to do with Brandy Maynard. Isn't that her name? Did I get that right?
oh, the young woman.
Brittany,
Maynard.
my bad.
That
Brittany
put it,
Maynard.
had it all on. Yeah. Yeah.
Mhm. She was living in California and moved to Oregon.
And then
in
people
order
tried to stop her because she
I
wasn't
do
truly
recall
an
that.
Oregon native.
Right. And
Right.
you had to live in Oregon for X amount of time, or there were certain things that you.
And everyone was crying for her to stop, and she decided, like, she made her decision. Like, she lived past the date she had picked,
Right.
Right.
but just slightly, and just said, "All right, that's enough."
And we're
Right.
done, right?
Yeah, I remember that.
and
That was recent too. That was like in the past year, wasn't it?
that was 2014, New Year's Day of
Okay, so-
2014.
Coming up on 2 years.
She learned that day that she had brain cancer. Oh, Happy New Year, right? And a few
Who
months
goes to the
later,
doctor on New Year's
she
Day?
decided that I know. Who calls you with that news on New Year's Day?
Yeah.
A few months later, she decided to move from California to Oregon so that she could legally take medication to end her life, all before her 30th birthday. So it would have been a little year and a half, maybe.
Yeah,
ago.
it has
Yeah.
been too long. And there's a movie called It's My Party that's based on a true story. I never know what the connection is, but
It was November of last year, actually. I'm
yeah.
so sorry. It was November of last year.
So it's been
That's
11
right.
months. Yeah, it
Almost
hasn't been that long. But there's a story of a guy struggling with
Wasn't it an HIV story?
AIDS,
Right.
And it was from the early 90s that he
90s.
did it, and he invited all his friends over, and his mother had the party and then went in his
That's
room
right.
and ended his
oh,
life.
that was.
It's a tough movie to watch,
It is.
but it really nails it on the head of, like, he's going to go in his way in his time, and that's a tough
The idea
movie.
of dying with dignity.
Yeah.
I mean, it really has everything to do with that. And the issue when Jerry Brown signed this into law was saying yes, that people can commit suicide, getting out of the great pain and suffering. The issue for a lot of people, it's called the End of Life Option Act, is actually what he signed.
Does that have a hashtag?
Hashtag End of Life Option Act.
YOLA. YOLA.
The movie you speak of was It's My Party, 1996.
Yeah, but I think it actually took place in, like, 89
it was
or
80s.
91.
Probably,
Yeah,
right, probably
yeah.
I think
set.
he was one of the producers of Xanadu or something like that. Like, that was the character, the actual it was a real story, and most of the people that were in the movie are playing themselves from the party that they went to.
This actually says it's based on a real party that occurred December of 92. That's what
Oh,
it
so
said.
it was it was
Oh,
that
that
yeah.
was
Yeah, and the movie was in 96.
Because he was a good friend of Olivia Newton-John's,
Oh.
and she had a very hard time doing the movie, but she decided it was important.
That's right. I forgot that. Okay.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
Don't see that around people you don't want to see you cry.
Right.
Because that's a
Never,
snot
never.
bubble
Snot
hiccups. Can I just ask
Please.
Aaron, I don't know what you're, just kind of elaborate in the chat room. I'm not sure what what you're talking about. Go ahead.
I wasn't either. That's what I was looking at.
I think we're like a comment behind or something.
So Californians Against Assisted Suicide, which is an alliance opposed to the measure, called this rationale flawed by Jerry Brown. The fact that, he said, I don't want to deny the right to people
Yeah.
that, I don't know how I would want to die, and et cetera. So the problem is that, according to these folks, that they have, Jerry Brown has a lot of money and he has a lot of access, whereas this is going to affect greatly reviewing all the options moving forward, because there are the people and families potentially hurt by giving doctors the power to prescribe lethal overdoses to patients, and the fact that they're living in healthcare poverty without that same access.
I get what people are saying, that like if you just had better health care, could you take a different choice? And I think that gets factored in, and that's where
Right.
the universal health care plays in. Like if you've explored your options and you may not like them,
Sure.
there's a lot of stuff that we can do for you in a hospital that I want no part. There's one surgery that we can do that I want no fucking part of.
Okay.
When that option comes up, Missy's checking out.
Sure.
Because I'm not doing that. Like that's it might save a life, but I'm not going to live
That way.
With
that
it-
way.
right.
That's not a leap I'm willing to make. And
you-
again,
oh, you-
no hero here. Like
Right.
You mean a surgery you're not willing to participate in, one that you don't want to ever have, is what you mean?
right. Oh, somebody else go ahead, choose it. But for me, like
Right,
if you
you're
told me that
talking
this
about
is my healthcare
your
problem,
option,
this
right.
is that surgery.
Not a surgery that you're going to assist in, is what I was saying. You're not going to help a doctor do it, is what I was thinking you were saying.
Oh no!
No, he's saying he's not
I
gonna
do it all the
have
time.
it, right?
I'm not going to have it. Like,
Okay.
Yeah.
and as you work in healthcare, there's a lot of choices that people make. A lot of hard roads.
Sure.
They're very brave people. They're courageous. They fight the good fight. Some of them make it. Some of them don't. There's some of them like I wouldn't even drive down that road.
Yeah.
I'd be
Well,
like,
and
and again, not even interested in living without cable. So can you imagine how I feel about that?
well, and Brittany Maynard basically was saying the same thing as Al. She
Yoda.
said, I would
Yoda,
not-
yeah, exactly. I'm doing it right.
She said, I would not tell anyone else that he or she should choose death with dignity. But the question, her question is, who has the right to tell me that I don't deserve this choice?
Right. And you can't, the problem is denying someone their opportunity to end it the way they want to. And some people put up a hell of a fight, and then it's just, you're out of options here. So you can go the hospice route, like you can play Not Today Gertie or whatever her fucking name is. And
Not tonight, Berta.
Not tonight, Berta. You can play that game and go peacefully, but
Yoda.
this is Yoda, Berta.
Not tonight, Yoda. Bertie.
Choose wisely, because if you fuck this up, we're gonna be back here tomorrow.
You got one chance at this.
And I think that
Berta, we're only on the second floor.
Feeling lucky? You feeling lucky?
Yeah. Now,
my
and Aaron mentions his heart transplant.
Uh-huh.
Now, that's something I would probably do. You know what I mean? A transplant is different than
Right. You have
You know what I mean?
have a chance of pretty good chance of
Especially
surviving.
a heart
everybody,
transplant.
Right.
Everybody
Especially a hair-
has
yeah.
that right to make that choice.
Right.
Sure.
Right? I mean, I think that on this, it says that the opponents are saying the bill will push people into the cheaper lethal options.
Yeah.
Like death is death. I don't understand because I'm not medically savvy exactly what that means. Does
Wait,
that
say
mean
that
they
again?
get like shittier pills, or like people push into cheaper lethal options? And I'm really confused.
Healthcare is really expensive. I think
Right.
what that is kind of saying, and I kind of understand that concern. If you do have brain cancer and you've got XYZ surgeries ahead of you and XYZ tests ahead of you,
Take this instead.
and there's all of this financial burden for your family
Oh,
that
yeah.
may not work. Like that's the problem. Like there's all of this financial burden that your family's going to be left with
That's what it's
if
looking
it
at.
doesn't
Okay.
work.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like you as like the dad could choose not to do all that, not to put your family through all that, and just
Sure.
be like, and scene.
Okay, that makes sense.
Right. And now
Because of the expense of healthcare.
And
Like
I could see a moral dilemma that if someone's saying, I don't want to put my family through the burden of me doing this, so I'm just going to end it. That's a different conversation, and maybe a caseworker or a social worker, someone could help you find support you needed so you weren't a burden on your...
Right.
That conversation I could see intervening and seeing if you could make better choices so that your family wasn't as burdened or you felt
Right.
better about
Or you didn't feel you were
burdening them.
Right,
If you could get that that I really could understand someone intervening. But if it's just like that's enough, like I did what I could, I can't take any more, not one more test, not one more, you know
if
what I mean?
it's, hey, you're poor, take this pill.
Yeah,
'Cause we
that-
don't-
no,
that-
yeah, right,
That's
right.
ridiculous, and I can't fathom that could be a part of it. But who?
But
who
it's
knows? Who
it's an
knows?
interesting option that I had never really thought about. Someone thinking that way
Sure.
is like, oh, I don't want to put my wife through this, so I'm not going to try.
Yeah, it says adding the so-called choice into our dysfunctional healthcare system will push
Right.
people into cheaper lethal options.
I could do $300,000 worth of treatment and surgery and medication and still
then
die, and then my family is fucked with that.
Right.
Yeah, because I have shitty health.
Well, the
insurance.
reaction to Brown's decision on Monday was far different on the website that was dedicated to Maynard's memory. The Barbara Coombs Lee, the head of Compassion and Choices, noted that it means we are providing this option for the incurably ill to end their own lives, which is to more than 1 in 10 Americans. The signing was cheered by a woman named Christy O'Donnell, a 47-year-old single mother from Santa Clarity. I've never heard of Santa Clarity, by the way.
Me either.
With lung, brain, spine, rib, and liver cancer,
Jesus Christ.
who testified in support of the legislation. My goodness.
Because she's
When
got
I-
a choice to make soon.
Right.
There's no getting around that.
She said, I'm overjoyed for all the terminally ill people in California who can now relax knowing they finally have the choice of aid in dying as one of their end-of-life options. No more worrying that they will suffer great physical and emotional pain at the end of their life when they have already suffered painfully for so long as a result of their terminal illnesses. And
I find this
I guess
all
that's-
fascinating
it's
from every
fascinating.
single
I
angle
agree.
of like getting people the help, getting them the support, making sure that you've thought about your choice. Like,
Right. And the death panels that Erin has out there, like I agree with Harrison. That's how, with what she's saying, and I'm glad she put that in there. It's very specific. I mean, I'm sure that
Yeah.
there are all these very.
but the death panels
the
come
death
in with
panels.
like grandma's like. we had a conversation, all healthcare providers on a vacation
Right.
making bad health choices.
Sure.
3 out of 4 of us not making great health choices. The fourth one judging us for getting on a wooden roller coaster. Do what you will with that.
Hold these
Because you only die
persons.
once.
Somebody's got to be the person.
and wanted to go to SeaWorld.
But we were talking about unnecessary tests and stuff like that, and the fact that in a healthcare encounter, one of us had run into a patient that was getting a test done that we were like, well, there's the kill shot. Like there was no way to live through that test.
Oh.
It really wouldn't do anything but kill another organ. Like you're in multi-system failure, and that test is just going to kill another. The person was dying.
But no,
You just
that wouldn't be considered assisted suicide.
right, but it is.
It sounds like it
okay,
would.
so if they're, are they
we were-
using it and masking it as such?
No, not at all. Not
Okay.
at all. It was a diagnostic test that the family agreed to because it sounds like a good idea, but to those
In the
to
know.
other people that were thinking about the big picture, like that's pretty much the kill shot. Like you just ended that.
But the
They were-
doctor would know that, yes?
right, but it's a diagnostic thing to look for something else.
Right,
on
but is
someone
it being
who's
disguised-
already dying?
I get
Right.
The person's
No.
already dying. You're not going to learn anything from this.
Right.
But the family wants, can we do one more test? Can we do
Okay,
one
you're
more heroic
pushing
thing?
for it. Okay.
Sure, we can run any test you want
Sure.
to. This particular test
Yeah, okay.
is pretty much the kill shot. Like you're not gonna live through disease you're suffering through. Now we're gonna look for something else to fix. And in looking for this, you just
Yeah, you're dying.
the
Even
end
faster.
result
Does it
is death.
does
No
it
one gets out of here alive.
accelerates the end?
It just makes it a little bit more horrible.
Oh, more horrible.
Yeah, it's not. This was
Okay.
not a mercy. Yeah, I love to poke Harrison and get
In
her.
the chat room.
I like to
girl.
get her fur up.
Wow.
But it really was one of those things where.
Not sure about that.
I like it. Leave her fur out of it.
But those of us that were sitting around, it's
For
like
right
at some point, the people sitting in, listening to
Yeah.
the talk of should have said, "She's dying. End this. It's hospice time.
Sure.
This show's over." But because this death panel thing has gotten such a bad name, that when like everyone in the room agrees, this is all futile. This is an elderly person who's dying. Let this go naturally. Do nothing. Walk away, make them comfortable, spend your time with grandma, throw a ball at her. Maybe she'll catch it, maybe she won't. I don't know. Give her some knitting
Awakening,
needles.
so yeah.
Go to town.
Yoko, you only catch once.
You only catch it. Or Yoso, depending on how you want to pronounce your C. Hashtag, how do I want my C?
Pound C.
I like it. Yeah.
Pound C. So
That's it.
but
That's
it
another
really is that thing,
euphemism.
and so I know that was a long way to get to what the death panel comes out to, but it's just
I've already
that
lost
thing
interest.
of
That's one of those things that when I listen back later, I hear that I didn't hear like in studio usually.
why? What'd you say?
I've already lost interest.
Yeah.
That was about 5 minutes ago.
Look at that on the replay.
It's just honestly time for people to say, enough.
Right.
Your loved one is dying. Let's just all go to a comfortable place, take a lot of morphine, smile and hold hands, because the show's over. You know
Yeah,
what
but
I mean?
don't you see that being dependent on how old someone is sometimes?
Oh, it has to do with how old they are, what
Only
nationality
because
they
a
are, what
lot of
religion they
times I
are.
would think the younger
How
the
many
person-
strikes are already against them? Because
No. And I'm all for it. Like, up to a certain age, balls to the wall.
Yeah.
Do everything possible.
Oh.
But once
Uncomfortable,
we...
I can tell you
Uncomfortable.
that.
Balls to the wall is hard to do, especially from behind.
Is
without
that,
the
is
gun
that
oil.
a diagnostic test?
Yeah, if you were just like getting and if you're age though, the balls are hanging so low that putting them to the wall, the toaster, you can put them anywhere.
What
Those
about,
fuckers
what
just
about
go
like
long.
insemination position, like
Yes.
feet on the wall, ass straight up against the wall?
I want to know who actually came up with that phrase and decided that that was really the description of really going after something.
Yeah.
Balls to the wall. I don't know.
Good.
And that's right.
Yomo.
There's no situation.
I mean, I get eyes on the prize.
No balls to the wall.
I get eyes on the prize, but not balls to the wall.
But that's why every situation is different, and that's
Are
why
you looking at the origin of that phrase? Cat Carlson's
Google
Googling.
my balls are in the wall. I made a euphemism out of it again. I re-euphemized your euphemism.
Oh, that's a recycling
That's
thing.
right, yeah.
Such
Reuse,
euphemizers.
It's
recycle.
a nice segue to the next.
Phrase "balls to the wall," meaning an all-out effort,
Ah.
comes from the world of aviation.
Of course it is.
Yeah.
Oh.
On an airplane, the handles controlling the throttle and the fuel mixture are often topped
very
with ball-shaped
sexual.
grips, referred to by the pilots as
Same
what
wall.
else?
Yeah.
The
Balls.
wall.
Yeah, balls to the wall.
And throttling.
Full
it's all very
throttle.
sexual. Yeah.
I'm glad we've learned. So, ladies and gentlemen, and contrary to popular belief and the way that this show's gone since its inception, education was just bestowed upon
Just
you.
happened for the
Cat
first
Carlson, I
time.
would like you to reread what we just learned. Balls to the wall, ladies and gentlemen.
The phrase "balls to the wall," meaning an all-out effort, comes from the world of aviation. On an airplane, the handles controlling the throttle and the fuel mixture are often topped with ball-shaped grips, referred to by the pilots as what else?
Balls.
Yeah, there it is.
Very nice.
And then when they're in the up and
Aaron-
forward
and
position,
Aaron has
that's
it
the
as well.
wall.
Right to the
I like
wall.
it.
There
And
it is.
also just in
Aaron, I'm
thank
very
you, thank
concerned.
you.
I'm not going to click on that
I know
link,
I'm
Aaron.
concerned about doing that.
I'm going to do it later.
I'm
Yeah.
gonna click it now.
You know, but
really?
Lastly,
Cat's
just,
a daring girl.
Aaron
clicking
has
the
something-
balls to the wall.
Aaron has something in here that especially knowing his circumstances when he first started listening and telling us.
Oh, I thought we were
the
done with
heart
this topic
transplant.
and
we
moving
almost
on.
are, but I
Oh.
think it's really fair to Aaron to say this. He said, "But if you have lived all your life with something that might kill you, you're less likely to want to give up."
Oh no,
And
and that's what-
absolutely.
Every
I
single
think we're
case
all
is
saying
different.
that.
Every
Yeah.
age is different, and it's just one of those things. And if Grandma at 85
Right.
last week was walking herself up and down the street and having a great time, and this week she's sick, then again we're going balls to the wall.
Right.
It's just what's the quality of life before and after,
Absolutely.
and where are you at? If we're just beating a dead horse over and over again,
Can you look that one up, please?
then you just gotta give up.
Yeah.
Can you actually look at
Absolutely.
beating a dead horse for us? I would like to know that. This is going to be the origins of all phrases.
All phrases.
Balls to the
Alright,
wall
legit.
was good, but beating a dead horse, I think, is another one.
But I think that one's pretty
Or
obvious.
kicking a dead horse.
But I want to.
I wanna know where it came
I
from.
love the balls to the wall. I never heard
I'm
that
all full
before.
throttle on it.
And I know what the full 9 yards is. It's
I
how
got
much
you.
ammunition
whole
there
9
is.
yards.
I
The whole 9
figured
yards
that
of
one.
ammunition.
Full
We gave
9
them
yards?
the
Whole 9
we gave them the whole 9 yards.
Whole
Whole
9
9 yards.
Whole
So
9
I
yards.
always that's what I mean about like every situation different every single time.
Don't-
Go in, look at it, and the death panel comes in and says, "All right, you're not eligible for the death panel.
Yeah.
You've got a good shot at this. You've got a lot of fight in you. You've heard the risk and benefits, and you want to plow forward. We're all everyone's on your team.
Sure.
In healthcare, we just want you to be aware of the fight that's coming, and if you're good,
Here are your options.
go for it.
Yeah, absolutely.
If you're just keeping somebody alive because you don't want to be sad in 2 days,
Right.
nah,
yeah, yeah.
that's different.
Cat Carlson, would you like to let us know?
Well, the origin of beating a dead horse is not quite as clear, but it's pretty universally believed that it comes from the world of horse racing, in which horses were beaten to move faster, and then
Oh,
the dead
that's
horse
awful.
might not move very fast. But yet you're still beating it, hoping that it'll
Okay.
win the race. Yeah, it's
Not
it's
as- not as
it's an
enjoyable.
expression of futility.
Oh, it's not as exciting as the other one you showed.
Not
us
as fun.
earlier.
Not as fun.
But I honestly felt that one was pretty literal. I thought everyone knew
I
that was
feel
from
like-
horse racing
yeah.
and that you just can't keep.
No, right. It makes sense.
I think
get
maybe
it.
they go over it in the Black Stallion. I think that's the book you have
Yeah.
to read to get what they're talking about.
Right.
Did you?
Oh, definitely.
Yeah. Did you get the story that I?
Yes.
Okay. Good.
Coming up in my segment.
I'd like to go to the map now so Cat Carlson can show
Oh,
us
ladies and gentlemen, the map.
where Niagara Falls, New York is. Can you please show us again? Very good. Ladies, no, you're a little high. I think. right?
Well,
in
they
the-
usually,
right there where the-
usually you say that to Al.
where the finger.
Trying to
Or
get my
Laura.
finger in between,
In between the
legs.
two lakes, literally in between
That's
the
it.
two.
Got it. Niagara Falls, New York is where this next
Stop with
story
the
is.
finger. Stop
Tickle,
with the
tickle.
finger.
Oh,
Okay, you're touching my sister at this
Diddle the
point.
lakes.
Think about that.
Yeah. Little uncomfortable.
Well, in this next story,
Yo-yo.
this
You only finger her once. Figure out those initials.
Yofo.
You only
Unlike
finger once.
mofo, yofo.
mofo.
God, I hope she went to
Yofo,
bed
you
already
mofo.
because that was really inappropriate.
I'm
Luckily,
sorry.
she doesn't make it much past the drinking word.
Is it Debbie or Nancy or?
It was Debbie that you were fingering there.
You should at least know
Based
her
on where your
name.
finger was on the map.
Looking for a little island. You're looking for a little
Can you
island.
show us on the map where your finger
Debbie, I owe
was?
you a nice steak dinner.
Yeah.
Should you
What is
be
it,
in
Grand
Phoenix at any
Island?
Or a
point?
cigarette. Nancy lives on Grand Island. Debbie lives in Niagara Falls.
Well, the lovely, quaint, and lacking because Al Perkins no longer lives there.
That's a true story.
The city of Niagara Falls, New York, wanted to get people, particularly the millennial generation, more excited about recycling. So it came up with what it had hoped to be a very memorable mascot, none other than Totes McGoats, a man in a latex goat mask. By the way, the goat mask available on Amazon.com. Also wearing a blue T-shirt. His name is a play on the phrase Paul Rudd utters when trying excruciatingly hard to make a friend in I Love You Man. I can't remember, it's a movie.
Oh my god, that movie is so fucking funny.
The head was perhaps inspired by the online popularity of Archie McPhee's terrifying horse mask, which, like Totes, also has achieved meme status. Now there's that picture of him, and then there's this picture of him, which is equally scary.
Now the first
He
picture,
seems reasonably fit.
Oh, I thought that too, that it was llamas with hats.
Oh,
Now this house, I know where every house that looks like this is in the city of Niagara Falls.
I like that it gives the
I can walk you to every one of those houses.
they're all over there. Yes. So anyway, Totes McGoats. As we continue on with this horrible story. Brooks D'Angelo, coordinator of the Niagara Falls Solid Waste Education and Enforcement Team, is responsible for this horrible bullshit, for releasing Totes to the world. After he became famous, she joked, "Clearly, I am a PR and marketing genius." Okay.
Not really.
Seriously though, the budget for this project was just $100, and $60 of that was spent on the mask.
Atta girl.
All we know about the man inside the mask
20 of
is
it was on pot, I'm thinking.
He's
I feel like
he's a Niagara Falls city worker, and given that goats eat everything, and Goats Island is in the middle of the Niagara Falls...
Goat Island.
Goat Island. A goat was a shoe-in for the mascot. Quote, "We had hoped for a good reaction, but this is otherworldly," D'Angelo said of the reaction. Still, it goes down as one of the laziest mascot attempts ever. Buy a disturbing Halloween mask online, slap it on some poor city worker, and give him a Twitter handle and call it a day.
Okay.
that is a recipe for success.
Two things. You went national with
Yeah.
your campaign, so
Right.
winner. Yeah. And then second, I'm really embarrassed that I forgot about Goat Island. That Totes McGoats makes sense. Like,
Oh, I never realized it was a real thing. I thought they were just
yeah,
making it
Goat
bullshit.
Island is one of my favorite. I talk about
It's
it all the time. It's
apparently
one
a
of my
place.
favorite places to go. It's where the river
With
divides.
your goats?
The river divides at the top of the falls to make. Let me think. I think it separates the American Falls from the
Canadian ones.
No, there are no Canadian falls. It separates the American Falls from the
British Falls.
Bridal Veil. I think. I don't think it's between the Bridal Veil and the Horseshoe, but it separates two of the falls, Goat Island, and it's very lovely. But it used to be a place for goats. So Totes McGoats kind of makes sense now that you mentioned Goat Island, especially since a friend of mine in high school stole the sign that said
God.
Goat Island this way, and it hung in my basement for years.
Previously called
It's just dawning on you.
Previously
I love it.
called
I love
Iris
it. Oh,
Island,
that's funny.
Goat Island is a small island in the Niagara River located in the middle of Niagara Falls, between the Bridal Veil Falls and the Horseshoe Falls.
Okay, so it was choice number 2.
The island is at the southwest corner of the city of Niagara Falls.
In the very
and-
southwest corner, because the next thing you know, well, you're in Canada.
And is part of Niagara Falls State Park. Goat Island has no residents,
Nope.
but is a popular destination for tourists visiting the falls
And
on the
goats.
United States side.
And goats.
And it's lovely. No, there's no more goats there. The
Oh,
goats have been
no,
gone
no
for many years. They fell over.
It offers some of the most spectacular views available there.
It really does. I'll show you pictures.
Fantastic.
Prospect Point is the
I'm good at Googling
Prospect
today.
Point is between the American Falls and the Bridal Veil,
Sure.
or Terrapin Point. Again, I don't know. All those things are familiar.
Tomato.
Yeah, it's lovely. Go.
Close by.
If you've not been, please go to Niagara Falls. It's really quite
Consider it.
beautiful. Not the
It's
part
nice.
where I lived, but the part with the falls.
Oh, sure. Yeah, the actual like falls.
Although you
part.
can see the falls from my bedroom window now because they've torn down a few things. So you can see the mist seriously out my bedroom window at home.
Isn't that great?
Because I was like, could that be the falls? My sister's like, what else would put up 74 stories
Yeah.
of mist? I'm like,
Yeah.
good point. That's fair.
Oh,
There you have
fair.
it.
There is a map, not on your screen, but there is
No, but I can
the
see it. I can see it
the
from
little
here.
L
can
where
see
the United
clearly
States
now.
and Canada is.
The
That's
falls are there.
Goat Falls
No.
or Goat Island. I'm sorry.
New to the area, Goat Falls.
Band name.
Go Falls.
Goat Falls.
Goat Falls.
That's more. It's a little edgier.
It's actually a Tori Amos cover band.
Ooh, I like it.
Yeah.
So it'll be every third song on Pandora. What's it called?
Yeah, perhaps.
Because every fourth song is the actual Tori Amos.
Oh, I had no idea. I should listen to more.
Oh, you
No,
should
you
pick
shouldn't.
any artist. Fourth song will be Tori Amos.
Shut the fuck up.
What was our first band? I liked it. What was our first band
You have
tonight?
to listen.
I don't
You have to
remember.
listen back
Son
to the
of a
show.
bitch. Son of a whore.
Listeners, what was our
You have to
first band
listen.
tonight? Because it was a really good one.
They won't remember either.
They will.
Everyday sadism.
Everyday sadism. Well played.
Oh,
Look at her
nicely
writing shit
Did you write
down.
that down?
She's writing shit down.
It's right here.
Gotcha.
Just saying.
Note keeper. Got our secretary.
Good band.
There's that.
I've been secretary.
I think we've wrapped up the entertainment or the.
Oh, I have one.
Oh, you
I
do
have
have
one
something-
little story.
Oh, then we can play the
Yay.
crossover before we go to entertainment.
Okay, we're gonna go over this quickly because CNN has become my heroes again. They
Dun, dun, dun.
I lose faith in them on a pretty much
Did they
hourly
stop talking
basis.
about that plane that crashed?
The Malaysia Airlines.
Just
That
wondering.
was that was
If they're
one
done
of
talking
the.
about that, I'll start listening again.
Oh dear God! And if that plane could have trashed near a Donald Trump campaign,
Right? Oh,
holy
Lord.
shit, would they have been on the air
Oh,
24 hours a day?
oh.
Okay, so the Planned Parenthood that we've talked about it all the time, the Planned Parenthood videos that are making the rounds and everyone's upset about,
What
but
if they should call
everyone
it unplanned parenthood?
unplay. It is. It really is.
Right. Well, the idea is that you have the plan.
Our first single is going to be called Rusty Gun Oil, parenthetically, by Everyday Sadism.
I like it. But
I will work on
That's
those lyrics
Amazing.
whilst we're away. Okay,
well done.
Water-based.
some guy wanted to show exactly what a 19-week-old aborted fetus being held in the hands of a medical technician looked like. The problem was he didn't have that picture, so he went to the internet, found something close, and inserted it into his documentary. The photo, two cupped hands holding a tiny male fetus, appeared on screen as dramatic music played. Against this backdrop, a medical technician detailed how she was present when an intact 19-week gestated fetus was aborted at a PP clinic, and she says harvested for tissue samples. This guy's video failed to mention that the photo and the story do not match. So this is the thing that Carly Fiorini's
Right.
talk about. This is the thing that they're defunding, and everyone knows it's badly edited and it makes no sense that it's not
Right.
real, like caught on tape footage. Everyone has admitted since the beginning, except for on Fox News, that none of it's real.
Right.
But now CNN has gone through and put it all together. So we'll just do, the photo was not an aborted fetus at PP clinics. It was a stillborn child of Alexis Fretz, whose son was stillborn in 2013. Fretz took the photo and posted it on the internet to memorialize the son she named Walter. Without her knowledge, the man that made the documentary and his two-man group called the Center for Medical Progress, that's what the group is called, plucked that photo from her webpage and dropped it into his anti-Planned Parenthood documentary. So now we know the source of the picture that
And
everyone's
how
talking about.
pissed is she?
Very much so.
I'm sure. Yeah.
Unbelievable.
Absolutely.
Was it clear? Fretz asks herself in a CNN interview. No, it was not clear. Was it deceitful? I don't know that. The guy that made it told CNN the fact that the photo is not an actual photo makes no difference. It's just that it refers to something. Well, yes, it is. If you have no proof of what you're talking
Right.
about and
Yeah.
you're using something else, then
And
no,
if-
you haven't proved your point. And this
No, and
man,
you're not
his
about-
name is Daladin, I'm not sure how you pronounce his name, was being criticized for second, potentially misleading use of video that has found its way into the Republican presidential campaign.
Unbelievable.
In an interview in Southern California earlier this month, this man now admits he has no information on where that video was actually taken. There was no evidence that it was taken at a PP clinic. But everyone keeps describing this, and what the one thing is that there's a intact fetus moving its body parts, but we don't know how it got there. Like, no one knows if it's
Where
a
the video came
miscarriage,
from, right.
because the miscarriage doesn't necessarily mean that the baby is just dead and coming out.
Right. That means that the
It's
uterus
just an early
right.
gave it up.
been expelled. It's been evicted.
So now we have
evicted.
this. It's heavily edited. It's discredited. Everyone has found the source for these things, saying they're not at these clinics. So this conversation should be over. But the Republicans are making money out of it, and we're about to shut down our government over.
Right. Now, the one thing that comes to mind with regards to this is the irony. The irony is that all of the Republicans, every time they're interviewed and they're caught on something, they always say something was taken out of context.
Right.
This entire video
Or
is
that someone was
taken out of
Intentionally
context.
out of
Yes.
context.
Right.
And they're using it.
Right,
Whatever.
and the
God,
fact that
you're
a
right.
lot of the things that happen that they do with fetal tissue is used for research in helping people with diseases. And so that's the only thing that they do with the fetal tissue. So, I mean, it's just really bad. But find this article for or against, and at least know that you can't use this particular documentary as your way of like ending
Right.
thinking you got your drop the mic moment.
Right.
You have this really crazy group, especially after they had the Senate hearings, and the senator asked, he had a chart that had no
I love that.
y-axis.
It made no sense.
Love that.
All
I
right,
think we
kids,
talked about that last week, right?
The end of hour 2, hour 3 is coming up. Al's got entertainment. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
You've been listening to The Show on Q Talk America. This is Q Talk America.
The following broadcast contains adult humor, language, and topics, along with partial nudity. Actual knowledge is used sparingly. The show is a result of a lost bet and a bad game of rock, paper, scissors. It's The Show with Clayton McKee. And now, a man with a face for radio, Clayton McKee.
Hey, good everybody. It is the beginning of hour 3 on this, our show. We do it weekly. It's called The Show on Q Talk America. Thanks for being with us. I'm, as usual, sitting around the table with Kat Carlson, Marnie Ryer, and Al Perkins. And at this time, it is, we're going to turn it over to Al Perkins, and it goes a little something like this.
Not a lot going on this week. Reviews on the new Fargo. Chris Rock talks to host the Oscars. Tracy Morgan back to host SNL. Little news about Amy Schumer. I don't know what that is. John Oliver has an effect on the Canadian elections. And one of the best episodes of TV ever aired the other day, and you probably all missed it.
Probably.
In entertainment.
Because I'm still watching Gilmore Girls.
Yes. The new Fargo. It started last week, last Monday night, I believe. I finally got a chance to watch it after the show with Clayton McKee last Tuesday night. Balls to the wall, both cylinders.
Both cylinders.
I'm not sure. All 4 cylinders, all 8 cylinders, 16 of them. You got
Fire all
cylinders, we
the
got
cylinders.
it.
Fire in the hole.
You got cylinders, we're firing them. I'm not sure if it's on Monday or Tuesday. It's
on Monday.
It's on Monday nights. Kirsten Dunst.
Seeing her in a position where she's with the Minnesota accent again.
I feel like Drop
Is she
Dead
doing that
Gorgeous.
Drop Dead Gorgeous thing
I
all over
feel like
again?
Drop Dead
Yes.
Gorgeous grew up. It's just that character again in a delightfully fucked up place.
Yeah, fucking
Oh my God.
psycho. She
And
drinks black coffee.
Yes, she does.
I gotta write this down
Probably
right
puts
now.
guessing.
She's got a radish in
Go
somewhere with
home
gun
and
oil.
watch
A
Fargo.
radish.
I
like it.
I was just amazed at how beautifully handled that entire episode was. The guy
You've
that
only
has
watched the one?
yeah, I haven't watched
Okay.
last night yet.
Okay.
The one that plays her husband, who's
Yep.
in Black Mass and is really good in Black Mass with Johnny Depp as her husband, fantastic.
Yeah.
Ted Danson,
Yeah.
really good. Patrick Wilson, really good. But as always, every single time, and somebody please get me her name quickly, Jean Smart.
Yes, Jean Smart.
From
You
Design
got it
Women,
quickly.
who
Yeah.
every single time she shows up on TV,
Phenomenal.
you're just riveted. She's like the Judith Light of just another
You're
TV
right.
station.
Yeah.
She gives you, she is balls to the wall. You only play this part once.
Yeah.
She is so on her game. No pretty. They've aged her a little bit. They've made her Minnesota. She looks like a hard scrubbed northern Midwestern human.
Yep.
just really good, and I just can't wait to see where it goes.
Yeah.
I was all in for everything that True Detective fell short of. This
Yeah.
one, I thought they picked it up and just ran with it. Set in 1979, costuming great,
Perfect. The way the homes are set up,
everything. It's just everything. It was immediate. Like you just tuned into every single character. I was so
Well, and Macaulay
impressed.
Culkin's little brother. Is it
Kieran Culkin.
Kieran Culkin. Just watching him and thinking, wow, you thought that the brother that Macaulay would be the one that would actually go on and do something, and this kid's been in quite a few things.
Yeah.
And he, albeit briefly, plays an interesting part.
Yeah,
in this
it
whole
was
thing.
it was
Yeah.
very interesting.
And the two twins, the brothers that don't speak. Have you seen them yet in there? The two gentlemen with beards, and they have the same hat, and they have all
No,
that.
that must
You
be
haven't
this
seen
week.
them yet?
No.
I thought it was in the first one as well, but yeah.
I don't remember,
You
but-
see them, it's great.
So good.
Yeah.
Chris Rock is in talks to host the Oscars, which he did a few years
Yep.
ago. Really good choice. All about that. I don't think we've landed. I don't think we've landed on producers yet. If I'm not mistaken,
don't.
producers aren't lined up yet. So, oh no, we announced a couple weeks ago. Producers are in line. Very unusual producers from different backgrounds. So Chris Rock would be a good fit for them. Tracy Morgan, not just back for his little stint on the Emmy Awards, which was very heartwarming and good to see him back. A lot of people are offended by him. I don't really care. If you're offended by something someone says out loud, you probably shouldn't be listening to this show.
Absolutely not.
That's a true story right there.
I'm often offended and I don't get up.
Yeah.
I'm just not leaving.
Because if I had Twitter, I'm sure I'd have people
Yeah.
that hated me.
Sure. We're going to get that from
But
you.
anyway, I haven't had a chance to watch it yet because I was out of town and we were possibly passed out when that came on. But it was very nice. Just excited to see someone back on their feet and doing what they love after a horrible accident. And
I saw
fighting his way back.
one clip, and I think it was on Rachel Maddow, where she talked about him coming back, and just the snippet of he was making fun of himself in the monologue, where he says some people question my mental capacity and something else about his timing or everything else, and he goes, "I never had any of that anyway."
Yeah.
Could you play the violin before, sir?
Yes.
That was the conversation 5 minutes before that car crashed was, oh, God, his timing's a little off and he's a little weird.
Yeah.
So there's that. Amy Schumer did hosting of SNL last week. Very funny, very topical, on point. Couple of bad skits like there always are in SNL. But it was really a solid show. She was good. It was kind of edgy. They had stuff about guns. They had stuff about all this. And then she had her big HBO special, which for comedians is that's pretty much the penultimate.
Piece de la resistance.
That really is the piece de la resistance, or however many
that's French
syllables
on
I
our
want to
show.
add. That's the balls to
We
the
like
wall. You only die once.
Yoda.
And
Hobo.
yeah, all of that's true, but I don't really care. I like him. People get a pass. Aaron's saying that I'm always offended by people and the show wouldn't exist if he weren't. Yeah, but Tracy Morgan, I find him funny, so I don't really care.
Yeah, and I don't care that
Probably
he
'cause
offends
of-
people. I just don't find him funny.
I never
Right.
did. Even on
yeah.
30 Rock, I never
never
found
did.
his character funny.
The show where he was the guy that did animals just used to crack me the
No
fuck.
idea.
I can't think of what it's called. Where he wasn't a zoologist, knew nothing about animals, but he would do the animal show, and then it used to crack me up.
I just never thought he was
Yeah,
funny.
me either. I never caught on to that, but I don't say something offensive. I don't fucking care about that. But you just
Yeah.
whatever. It's okay.
So, anyways, the Amy Schumer special, a little bit of fat shaming, a little bit of I just wasn't really excited to as edgy as she is. It was kind of very self-deprecating for the first.
She kind
half.
of can turn that way though. Like if you watch a lot of her stand up, all of a sudden, it kind of turns into that. I'm just kind of a slutty fat girl who has all of these
Is
horrible.
this
You know what I
isn't
mean?
the
Like,
Live at the Apollo one?
Yeah,
is it?
yeah.
Oh, I just DVR'd that, so I haven't watched
But
it
then
yet.
the last
Okay.
yeah,
10
her
minutes-
stand up kind of turns into a lot of
Yeah,
that.
it
Yeah,
does.
the
It's
last
very
10
true.
minutes, all she did was read Urban Dictionary. Like the Abraham Lincoln, the Angry Dolphin. Well, funny, but my friend Sarah does it at work too, and she doesn't have an HBO special because it's all available on Urban Dictionary. And she really did just do the Urban Dictionary for the last few minutes. And I was kind of shocked. I thought that was kind of lazy. Like, do you think I don't know what Urban Dictionary is?
Right. Give me some
Or was
credit
she just...
Like,
I thought it was
were
a
you
very
out of material and had extra time?
Yeah, it was a very odd choice.
Is this the bit that was a hit with your grandmother and you thought you'd put it in the show? Like, you don't know.
That I didn't. I don't know. I guess.
Oh,
I guess it's.
Let it out, Martin.
I guess it is racy or whatever, but we do it at work. Like, I mean, we literally have spent a night peeing our pants laughing at the Abraham Lincoln.
And I found, like, you've been raving about her for a while, so like her skit comedy can be super funny. But I don't know that I've, because in her show she does little segments of her stand up.
Yeah, she does it that Seinfeld way. If you get a little bit of
little
the
stand up, little show,
yeah.
little stand up, little show, and it's often a little lead into the clip, and that's fun. And the clips and the sketches are always really fun, but not always. Some of them are terrible too. But,
like all sketch comedy.
Yeah, right.
Sometimes
like all
it
sketch
lands.
comedy, it misses as often.
Like this show.
Like this show.
Sometimes it hits, sometimes it misses.
But I've always found myself, like, in her stand-up clips going, ugh.
Yeah.
Ugh. Like, I see where she's going with it, but not funny.
But that last 10 minutes is just laziness.
Yeah, and I don't disagree with you, Kat. I think that I have seen, Aaron and I DVR'd another Amy Schumer. I think it was on Comedy Central.
It was. She's now Comedy Central. She's been going for a while.
Funny,
because she was the blonde that no one knew who she was. That was dating the other comic, the tall white guy, and they were on a lot of roasts together. And people would make fun of them of like, "Who the fuck are you two?"
Who are they? Right?
He still does the roasts a lot. Her not so much.
Okay.
She found more of a voice. And I can't think of
the
what
tall white guy. You thinking of Billy Billy on the Street? What is his name?
No. He's a bland, almost redheaded white guy that's still on. He still does most of the roasts, but they dated briefly, and they were on the roast together. But anyways, that just the fact that she did Urban Dictionary just struck me as kind of strange.
You're better than that.
Yeah, I really was expecting more.
Yep.
Like, and the one where she did the rape, the no more raping, and she was the boozy wife of the coach that suggested to the high school football team they couldn't rape anymore.
Right.
And her glass of wine just got bigger and bigger and bigger. Yes. That was a parody of like all the right things.
Yeah. That was funny.
Okay, The Walking Dead. The season premiere, exciting, challenging, half black and white, half in color, little storytelling, a little zombie, a little fun, a little intrigue at the end. Big opener of the 6th season, very exciting. And then this episode 2 happens, and you're thinking, really, like, this is what I'm always defending against, is that they'll go into a quiet character thing, which I love. I love those episodes, but then the people that are like, more zombies, are like always like, why do we have to have the character ones? It's what makes it a great show. But even I was like, you got one storyline dangling, you got this big opener dangling, and now we're going to learn about some bitch making a casserole? Fuck no.
Fuck
and
your
I'm sitting there
casserole.
last night enjoying my popcorn thinking, all right, you guys are just not going the right way. And bada bing, bada boom, they went, again, balls to the walls, you only die once. And they brought the two danglers together in this horrifying, violent, absolutely terrifying 42 minutes of television that I could not get my jaw up off the floor. I was like, what the fuck did you actually hear me complain and change the script while I was watching? Because Sarahman's just putting a casserole in the oven and looking out the door, and I'm like, are we really going to have an anti-smoking episode in the zombie apocalypse? And a machete just comes out and chops someone in half, and you're like, oh, never mind. I have the wrong impression of this episode.
There's a no smoking zone.
Clearly don't smoke in the apocalypse.
Do not.
Because someone's going to machete your ass.
Right. And they don't have any death panels to figure out if your lung cancer is going to come back or not.
And Merritt Weaver, my favorite character, Nurse Zoe from Nurse Jackie, is now on as the panic attack stricken doctor.
Oh my God.
And Carol, who's like the greatest actress on TV,
Yeah.
just was the leader of this episode. And I seriously cannot wait to watch it again. Like, I can't wait for my DVR to be empty or for me to just admit I'm going to do it and just watch it again. It was amazing television. And at the end, when it ended, I was like, what the fuck just happened? It seriously was like somebody was listening to me like, you're really not going to do an anti-smoking Oh, she's in half.
Well, that's a statement.
That's a bold statement.
We call that a hot dish, not a casserole.
And then
That's
done in real
right.
time, because the point to the casserole was her setting the timer, and then it played out for 45 minutes with commercials till the end of the end of the
wow.
episode as the timer goes off, and the kid's like, well, I guess there's a casserole in the oven. And pulls it out and sets it down, and the episode ends with the casserole being done, and
wow.
just gore and dead bodies everywhere, but fresh casserole.
Hey,
Funny.
Delicious.
Killer's got to eat.
dinner.
Killer gotta eat.
Gonna be hangry. You don't want to be hangry.
And then John Oliver this week, Appointment Television. Whatever you're doing, you should be watching Last Week Tonight with John Oliver, who got to the Canadian elections, and I forgot that Canada has been under
Existed.
the rule. Pretty much always existed. Yeah,
Top of the map.
yeah, it's on top of Phoenix. In another color. But he had a big thing about how bad the Canadian Prime Minister has been for 10 years and what a total dick this guy has been, and that it's illegal for foreigners to comment on...
Foreigners?
Foreign foreigners. I like a little redundancy.
Not domestic foreigners.
Not those.
Foreign
No, because they're the
foreigners.
ones that their mom calls them out and
Yes.
tells them, you thought you was domestic,
Listen,
but you're
you
imported.
That's who I work for.
adopted bastard
Department
immigrant.
of Redundancy Department.
They were part of the... Oh, God, that's 2 puns you got away with. Either you're getting better or I'm slipping, yeah. You only pun once.
Hashtag YOLO.
Usually she only yo-pos.
Batteries not included.
Yeah.
Can't.
1995.
So anyways, so
Serves 4.
clearly this has been in the works for a while. But the fact that John Oliver covered it on Sunday, the elections were Monday, and the Conservative Party got the boot, and
Yeah.
the boot, and Trudeau, is that
Canada.
right? That's the old Prime Minister.
No,
His-
Trudeau's the winner.
right, but Trudeau is the
Liberal.
a former Prime Minister. This is his son that now won. So now we
Correct.
have a father-son in Canada that have been Prime Minister.
Right.
And he was described as the pretty boy doesn't have a lot going on upstairs, and how can he be the leader of the country? But well, it happened, so we'll figure it out.
And
Oh my
isn't
God.
one
Is
of
he
the-
Canada's W?
He is Canada's W.
What?
Well, they actually referred to that on Maddow that I saw earlier. But wasn't there something I read, and we can Google this, I'm sure, because it's all over the news. Wasn't one of the first things he came up with something, I forget, is it pro or against pot? Like one of the first things he's like, Canada gets pot or Canada something.
Well, because the former Prime Minister, the one that resigned today, officially, or at least announced he was done today, he was the one that compared pot to like everything horrible.
Oh.
Yeah.
Like he was just like
So he was Reagan.
Rethinking his position. Yo, bro, we only recharge once.
You only rethink things.
That was so funny.
That was very good.
So I would imagine that his thing would be to be the opposite of the former Prime Minister being like, oh, and I can't remember what he compared pot to, but it was just like,
was that the thing
really?
Laura had on?
I'm sorry?
Was that the thing Laura had on Facebook about this? She had
I did
something
not-
on about.
I saw some
somebody
posts of
just-
hers, but-
she
Well, it
ranted
is
about
one of the last. Not that pot's all that hard to get in Canada,
Right.
but this Prime Minister has kind of like kept his boot in the ass without the gun oil on this one for a while. So I would imagine that his stance on pot would be the polar opposite.
Okay.
And then in the last, and I haven't seen a full trailer yet for the new Star Wars movie. Surprisingly, with all the movies I've seen, I have not seen
'Cause
a
they
full
just released
Star
it
Wars
It was
trailer.
yesterday.
They just released it.
That's
yesterday.
why.
And I
During
believe
the-
Well, there's been
they were
little
talking
clips.
about it, and then Monday night, I
Football,
believe
during the football game, right?
yeah,
Yes.
Oh, okay.
I thought
Because
they were
there's
gonna
been
release
little
something else
teasers
along
here
with
and
it.
there,
Yeah.
pre-movies, and of course everyone was offended that there was a black guy in the past or the future or whatever it
Well,
takes place.
they're calling
Ruiners.
it's an ethnically diverse casting, and they're people, stupid people,
Immigrants,
saying it's
possibly?
anti-white.
Oh.
That it's a very hashtag boycott Star Wars 7 because it's anti-white propaganda.
Well, they're not doing well 'cause they've already sold-
hashtag white genocide.
They've already sold like $6 million worth of tickets.
Yeah, it shut
Fucking ridiculous.
and that's what Aaron was talking about.
Shut down the internet.
It shut down the internet and pre-rec.
J.J. Abrams is a Jewish activist and an anti-white nut.
Yeah,
according to people.
And if you look at find Audra McDonald's Twitter, she has a really funny thing about really your problems with a black guy in the past or future in a galaxy far, far away, long, long ago. I don't know how that starts.
I don't remember somebody. I think it was
Long ago
Jacob,
in a galaxy far, far away.
Long ago.
Tryweiler had something on his about. Do you know who the voice of Darth Vader was?
Yeah.
Right.
Been a black guy the whole time.
Don't worry.
Yeah. Totes the goats.
Yeah.
Remember he was.
Oh yeah,
tied all together.
This is CNN and Death Star.
And I've tried 3 times now to watch the first Star Wars, and there's nothing in that movie that makes me think, ooh, let's watch another one.
Oh,
But
I love the
I've
Star
seen
Wars, yeah.
4. I've seen 1, 2, and 3, and I saw that god awful thing that happened in the 90s.
Okay.
Yeah,
What was that called?
Yeah.
Star Wars,
One.
Clone Wars, or
Phantom Menace.
Phantom.
And then Clone Wars,
that
and
shit
then-
was
I don't remember.
that was the nail in that. That was the only die once, but oh my
I want
god!
if we're going to talk about Star Wars, you have to have
Yeah, I like that.
You have to have what?
the Earth.
Oh, there
Yeah,
you go.
I like that.
Yeah, but so I will not be your correspondent for Star Wars movies because I sat through
We don't need
4
one.
of them. Yeah,
Aaron
good.
from LA, I believe, can be our
yeah, because
correspondent in the field.
Yeah. I don't mind. Like I wouldn't mind.
Chief Star Wars
seeing-
correspondent, Aaron
I
from LA.
absolutely
And Aaron from
love
LA, I
the
love-
ones that were like the late 70s, early 80s kind of stuff. I personally love those. But any of the newer stuff that has come out that's supposed to be the I have tried. Like I truly tried and I can't.
No,
And that's just a personal thing. I mean, some people love it
Yeah, I'm
and
not
I
into
go crazy
sci-fi.
about it. It's just
and it's
my
not even like a
preference.
movie I disliked as much as I disliked. What's the movie with the little kid where he dies at the end? I always have to spoil it. Pay it forward.
My girl.
Pay
Oh.
it
Pay it forward. It's not like that kind of bad. Like,
sure.
I just
Oh,
didn't
Zeller?
care. Like when it ended, I was like,
not
Is it as
Old
bad
Yeller.
as Wilson Phillips song?
no.
No.
No, because I don't care as much. Like I wasn't offended. I could have whatever that movie was called, Star Wars 4. This time it's personal.
Electric Boogaloo.
Electric Boogaloo.
And you absolutely know I will sit through a movie about paint drying.
Right.
I was like I could have stood up at any point and been like, I don't feel like they care, so why should I? And then that thing started talking, and I'm
Jar
like,
Jar Binks?
I was done. I was like,
I have no idea. I'm making
I-
that
Even
up.
diehard Star
know.
Wars fans didn't like that character. So
Nobody liked Jar Jar, no.
But there was Senate hearings
Even the guy
and
that
all this
created
shit going
Jar Jar
on in this
didn't
movie,
like
and I
Jar
was
Jar.
like, okay, I think you're just trying to.
Senate
I really
hearings?
felt like I was being like
like Star Senate.
punked when I watched that movie. I'm like,
Yeah.
this is some bullshit.
Oh.
This is some bullshit. You only Star Wars once. No, but I love.
That's Yoswo.
But I actually am looking forward to the Steve Jobs movie. No, I haven't seen anything, but I just heard about this Peanuts movie today. Spectre and Star Wars.
I'm
I
excited
like
for
Star
the
Trek
Peanuts
movies.
movie.
I like Star Trek. I like Star Trek.
Yeah.
The one with the whales, fine. I was
Sure.
good.
I agree with Joe DeGanzig's in the
not?
chair. Steve Jobs movie I'd like to see, Peanuts movie I'd like to see, primarily because I want to see how they do it and how the story. Because I grew up on on the Peanuts with
Right.
with
Yeah.
all of those little kids.
And Aaron, I'm 14,000 years old. Star Wars, when it came out, was not called Star Wars 4 or anything
No, but
else. It
that's
was
where
called
that's
Star
the
Wars.
ones that-
Right.
that
They
came
added this
out,
New
right.
Hope Part 4, the beginning shit,
Right.
years after it came out. That movie was called
Anakin.
Star Wars, period, the end,
The little-
amen, we're
the
done.
little Anakin Skywalker.
Yeah, I never heard that New Hope shit till the 90s.
Me either.
It might have been
When Wilson
1980.
Phillips came out,
Yeah,
that's when he had
Wilson
it.
Phillips, A New Hope.
A New Hope.
This girl's got a girdle.
I know that
This
there's
time it's
pain.
hunger. This time it's hungry.
Meatloaf and Cardi Wilson will not be in the same movie.
Are they ever?
Oh, they
No, they
they
can't be
were.
the same
can't
person.
be. That's exactly my point.
You only
To
Meatloaf songs.
circle back before we move on with a little
No,
fact
no.
checking, we're going to go back to Canada.
Oh,
In case you were wondering, I had it on the tip of my tongue before we moved
I
on
don't
to
have
the
a
Star
Canada
Wars
map.
baloney. That's all right.
Actually, you know what we
It's
could
a-
do? Hang
we
on,
just point
hang on,
out
hang on, we
from
could do
the
it here.
United
Show them where
States.
Canada would be. Up there.
Yeah. Further North Dakota.
Eskimos live here. Right.
So far, the math is working out so well.
Eskimos live here.
Yeah,
South Dakota, further South Dakota.
yeah.
Wait, your Kansas.
Arkansas.
Arkansas.
Then there's Missouri.
Right, we're doing good. No, this is
I'm
working
enjoying
really
it.
well.
I enjoy it.
And I love that I don't actually have to stand up for it, but I'm a little worried that I need a longer mic arm. Because I feel like from way over here. Oh, hey.
Now you're in Flagstaff.
There you go.
Now we're in Flagstaff.
Well done.
But I did want to run down back to the new
North
Canadian Prime Minister.
Transminister. He's the minister of all things trans.
The new Canadian transponder. He is pro-choice. He wants to move to raise taxes on the 1%. Wants to legalize marijuana right away.
Okay, that I thought I had seen that.
Yeah, is pro-indigenous rights. Yeah.
Which is good for immigrants. Which is bad.
Bad for immigrants. Good for
the
indigenous people. Right. And he's concerned about climate change. So he really is like drinking our same Kool-Aid.
God,
Yeah.
he's like a Clinton.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
Canada's got one of those histories on Native Americans or Native Canadians. It's the
Indigenous
Americas,
people is what they
indigenous
call
people.
them.
They call him Canadian Mist.
Their history is kind of overshadowed by the cool neighbor living downstairs.
Right.
No one's quite sure what shitty things they did, but they're really sensitive that you might find out.
Oh.
Because when the Olympics were in Vancouver, and they did the whole like pro British Columbia and this and remember they had all the tribes of Canada do their dance and do their whole thing. It was very respectful of respecting the native people. And you're just thinking, okay, what do we not know?
Like, they're overselling this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What are we putting a Band-Aid over here? Because you don't really look into that deep of like, you know that they did something. You're just not sure what and where did they drive them to.
Do you smell what The Rock is cooking?
Yeah.
You had you brought up Audra McDonald. Her tweet was, "Let me get this straight. Wookiees, Ewoks, and droids are fine, but a black person is a problem. Go home. You're drunk."
Yeah.
I
Legit.
appreciate that. Go home. You're drunk.
I'm trying to find the story that MSNBC earlier had it, and on Rachel Maddow, she called it something in Maple. I forget what it was, but it was a funny title to a story in regards to the Canadian.
She funny.
Yeah, it was very funny.
And
every time I see it, I think of that line that he always talks about is, it's Rachel Maddow or me. Both of us can't have that hairstyle.
I gotta go talk to her.
I always think of that. It makes me laugh.
That's funny.
Kitty Cat Carlson, are you ready to go?
Oh, sure, why not?
Well, let's just do it, and it goes something like this. Ho!
Well, this week's shit show of hashtags is going to go a little something like this. As inspired by Al T. Perkins, hashtag tampon dressing rooms. Hashtag I believe the children are our future. Then we're going to say Jim who? Ryan is
Jim
no...
who?
See? Ryan is no pope. And then we'll talk about a little bit of Back to the Future Day. In tonight's shit show.
Because the Cubs.
Right. Well, and many things. Many things, but we'll get there. First of all, this was sent to me by our senior tampon correspondent, Al T. Perkins.
No strings attached.
Put it on my LinkedIn post.
I said we like to call we're pulling no strings.
Pulls no strings.
A 44-year-old.
Actually, that's a native name.
I like
Pulls no strings.
You mean a settler's name?
Indigenous.
Yes.
Indigenous. My bad.
Indigenous. A 44-year-old Arkansas woman is now behind bars after Walmart employees found her trying on tampons and sanitary pads in the feminine care aisle.
Where's the story from?
Where's the feminine care?
Arkansas.
Okay, Arkansas. Thank you.
Your Kansas.
Arkansas.
I just wanted to make sure I understood. Thank you very much. Okay.
The tricky part, though, is usually if you have somebody point to the map and find Utah, you fuck them up. But she's from there.
No.
Yeah.
Cheating.
I can totally find Utah.
Indigenous.
I can even tell you about that
So
later.
now we're on the Vermont-New Hampshire challenge. It looks like a two-finger Louie.
Vermont points down. I think Vermont goes this way and New Hampshire goes this way.
I don't want to hear your
I don't know.
sister story.
Well, listen to this bloody mess. Oh, crap, I hit
Yobo!
You only bleed once?
Eyewitnesses say that Cheryl Woolery entered the Walmart store on Monday and approached the customer service desk for a return. Woolery complained that the Tampax lights were causing her to leak and the cardboard applicator was just too rough for her woo-woo, and she wanted to exchange them for something else.
Did you say woo-woo?
Woo-woo.
Okay.
Yep.
Two
Exclamation
questions.
point.
Two things.
Midnight
Two
tampon
things.
to Georgia.
Number one, what's a woo? Second thing, what's the other woo?
Why are there two of them?
Well, you
there
pee out
two
of one of
woos?
them.
Yeah. Okay.
Google
Okay.
origins of the.
That sounds like a movie title.
Yes.
It
Steven
is
Spielberg will be directing that.
it is a childish and inexplicable euphemism for a woman's vagina.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Yeah.
Woo-woo.
Inexplicable. I love that.
Okay.
Otherwise known as the basement.
Yeah.
Okay.
Direct quote from an employee at this Walmart says, quote, I was stocking the deodorants, which is right next to the aisle where the feminine hygiene products are kept. When I walked past the aisle, this crazy, out-of-her-mind lady was... I couldn't believe what I saw. I mean, really. There were 5 used bloody tampons on the ground
Oh, come on.
that she had already tried on. I caught her trying to stick a sanitary pad in her underwears, and that's when I radioed for security.
And it may or may not be on security camera. The entire exchange.
if we can find
The
that
entire
footage.
tampon exchange.
When security confronted the woman, she turned around to leave.
And slipped on the bloody.
Quote from the head
Oh, my-
security officer. When I asked her what she was doing, she turned around to take off. That's when I grabbed her arm and pulled her towards me, but I slipped on one of the bloody tampons.
No.
We both
We both.
Both.
hit the ground. That was probably the most disgusting thing that's ever happened
We
to me.
Tripped over the underwear.
I
To
would
you,
like-
Kat Carlson, or the person in the story?
I'm
I
sorry,
can tell
that
you're
was-
still quoting them.
Head security officer.
I would like to take this
Randy
moment
McWilliams.
as a disclaimer just to state that the voice of the Walmart employee has been altered or impersonated poorly by Kat
Poorly,
Carlson.
yeah, exactly. You gotta South Park it.
The police arrived on the scene within minutes and took Willery,
Police. The popo.
took Willery into custody. According to authorities, Willery explained that she was not going to spend another dime on a product that wouldn't work for her. She said she should be able to, quote, try on tampons just like you try on clothes
God.
in the dressing room to make sure they fit.
Where was
Did you
the
say her
beach
name
towel
is
aisle?
Woolery? Like as in Chuck?
Chuck?
She'll be back
Yeah.
in 2 and
Yes,
2?
yes.
All right. Well, she's tampons, 2 and 2. Oh,
Walmart.
God.
She put in 2 and 2.
Yeah, that's the. Ew.
Walmart released a statement saying,
We got a lot of lady parts in this
She
show.
broke her seal.
You gotta name the show. This one's for the ladies.
I was going to call it balls to the wall, but
I like this one.
I feel like there's not a lot of balls and a whole lot of
or it could be
wood.
balls to the wall parenthetically.
This one's for the ladies.
Bag of Nopes link. Come on.
Yes.
No, but I
That's
think
it.
you can
That's
find
it.
it. I think the security cameras
I'm
capture
sure
a
it
picture.
is. I'm sure it is. Walmart released a statement
Lord.
saying, it is against our policy to allow customers to try on tampons in the aisles, bathrooms,
But they don't have
or
a written
dressing
policy.
rooms.
I don't believe that.
You stick it in,
Anyone-
you bought it.
Anyone
You
attempting
bleed on it, you buy it.
anyone attempting this will be arrested and never allowed back in our classy store.
Classy.
This is an absorbing story.
Woolery was booked on charges of
Ever
shoplifting,
expanding.
indecent exposure, and resisting arrest. She's being held on a $500 bond. It is unclear whether she has an attorney or not.
And this ain't mischief, people. That is the wrong use of mischief.
That is not
This
criminal
story
mischief.
brought to you by
tampon related.
You wings.
I do enjoy reading on the toilet since I was a little kid because we always kept the Reader's Digest.
Of course.
Sure.
Well, I read that month, so I just opened up the drawer and I picked up the box of tampons from the drawer that sat next to the toilet, and so I was just reading
you
the
read,
side
like,
of
the
the
entire
tampon
insert?
box.
Is this a
Let's-
recent story?
I don't live with any tampons.
No,
for
but
a
I didn't know
long
where you
time.
were. I didn't know.
Oh, this is back as a little child
Okay,
with the
got
Reader's
it.
Digest.
Got it.
There's a lot of people that aren't with us that are the people that subscribe to the Reader's Digest, for example.
Oh, coffee through the nose.
Is it bitter?
I got it.
Does
I
it taste
saved
like a radish?
I smell toast.
Is it black coffee?
So after I read enough times about squatting down with a hand mirror and exploring my own vagina, it said it expanded to fit. So I thought, well, is there any limit? So I was having an afternoon constitutional before a bath, so I flung one into the bathtub to see if it would fill the bathtub. Oh, sure. They do stop at a certain dimension.
It's a
They
true
do.
story.
They do.
I'm the bathtub adjacent correspondent that you've been dreaming of. If you get that on the green screen in the next 5 seconds, I'll give you $50.
What do you want?
Bathtub adjacent tampon correspondent.
I I don't think I can do it.
You could probably do an overshot, but probably not on the green screen. Just
Very good.
I don't think I can.
So
pull
Bag
it
of
off.
Nope says our next single should be tampon adjacent.
That's fantastic.
But that's another great band name.
God.
That is the whole
Because
thing.
we can't call you an asshole, so we're
I'm
gonna have to
all
call you
about-
tampon adjacent.
Thank you for that story.
Moving
I
to
should
the
have saved that
wall.
one for last, but no, I'm glad I did that one first. We're gonna move on. We're gonna stay in the South,
All the mileage we can get out of it.
and we're gonna move on a little bit more, maybe a little bit more seriously. Hashtag I believe the children are the future. The University of Mississippi student senators voted on Tuesday evening in favor of a resolution asking the university to remove the Mississippi flag, which includes the iconic blue cross and 13 stars representing the states of the Confederacy, from the campus. So if you haven't seen the Mississippi flag, which if you're not in Mississippi, why the fuck would you?
Yeah. Just bad luck.
Right.
Just took a wrong turn.
Open the book of flags. It's 3 bars, kind of like the French flag, a blue, a white, and a red. And then in the corner where the stars are on the American flag is the Confederate battle flag, the rebel flag. So these forward-thinking children, 33 student senators, voted in favor of the resolution. 15 opposed and 1 abstained from voting. Now the resolution is
And
not.
one just doesn't want to lose any
Right.
friends. I just got popular enough to get
One's
voted
like,
into this
listen,
shit.
I'm friends with Sarah. I'm friends with Carl. Y'all keep arguing about
One of
this.
them's gonna give me a hand job later, so I'm just gonna abstain.
Abstain. Right. Now, like all student governments, this student government has about yay much power.
Yeah.
So the resolution is non-binding. The college does not have to abide by any of this. Like, there's nothing actually official. But I'm always drawn towards stories about kids that are thinking in kind of the right way. I don't want to say the right way because then that kind of implies that there's a wrong way, but in a compassionate way, in a logical way, in a
And in the way of
forward-thinking
voting, like take it to
Right.
a vote.
Yeah.
Everybody give your opinion. Maybe there was a healthy debate, and some people believed or felt strongly about, because that makes it sound like I'm judging, about
Right.
the pro-rebel flag. That it's it's historic.
Right.
What's the word that they always use that I can't think of right now?
Historic.
No, it's what's the
The
argument? It's always that it's. Oh, I don't
even know.
Yeah, I can't think of it either.
Right.
Yeah.
The argument is that
Indigenous.
this is indigenous.
Sure.
That's part of the history, and it's part of the pride of the South, and all of those
Yeah.
things. But
And they always throw out that one word that always kills me, and I'm like, it's racist.
right.
Nah, not really.
Hashtag
But if they had a healthy
Racist.
debate and
But,
you took
right,
it to a
yeah.
vote and one side won, then maybe honor
had
it.
a
Like,
debate, and there's
Yeah.
a new generation of possible politicians that are coming out of the South that are having this perspective. So I think like the next generation is going to be
Yeah.
really interesting. Like if we can get all of the old white guys to die off or whatever, and get a whole nother generation. No, seriously.
Yeah.
Like politically, if you can get all the old white guys out of there and get some younger people in there, like even if they are
It works on almost every topic.
Yes.
That you get a little forward thinking when the old white guys die.
Yeah.
And that was last Tuesday the presidential debate, and we talked through it, and then we went
Yes.
home and watched it.
Yes.
Yes.
Was that not a fantastic interaction of ideas between like-minded people who
Yes.
disagreed on stuff but were very respectful? I just thought it was it was an honor to democracy to have those
It
three.
was a very nice debate.
I would say
It
3, but I
wasn't-
think there was 5 people
I
on that
think there
stage.
were
I just
5.
forgot about 2 of them.
Well, that actually leads us in, segue into our next story.
Heritage. There it is. That's the word.
Good word. Thank you,
Thank you,
Meow
Meow
Cow.
Cow.
Heritage. This actually segues into hashtag Jim Who. If you did watch the debates, you might have noticed and been super annoyed by somebody who was just bitching about everybody's time. Didn't seem to have a whole lot to contribute to.
Is that Jim Webb?
That'd be
Yeah,
that'd be
is that
exactly
him?
Jim Who.
Yeah.
And all I
I
remember.
just learned about him today. I haven't watched the debate yet.
I didn't watch it or listen to it in its entirety. I did like clips and snippets, and then have read summaries online.
I have no life every minute.
Yeah, I did. I haven't had time to watch every minute, but I did like that night listen to it on my way here. So I got kind of the first half hour of it, and then little bits and pieces. And by and large, the reaction is that the debates were an intelligent conversation of slightly differing viewpoints, all coming from kind of the same place,
But
which is
very
really
respectful.
nice. Absolutely, yeah. And everybody was. It wasn't a shit show. It wasn't a circus. It wasn't.
That's what I heard.
It wasn't all of the things that we love and expect from the Republican
Right,
debates, and have expected for
Yeah.
several election cycles. Like
Well,
this
that's
has
because
been.
it's an entire baseball and basketball team standing up there.
Yeah, but-
Yeah.
good Lord.
But we got to guns. We got to We got to
Absolutely.
immigration. We got to like substantive. We got to foreign policy. We got to
Big
great
topics.
moments with Bernie Sanders and him saying like this may be politically incorrect, but I just want to say enough with your emails.
Oh, that was the
Yeah,
line
that
of the
was-
night.
And
Yeah.
but it
the
really
American
did.
people are sick of listening to your emails.
But I mean, standing ovations through, which they should stop because they tell the Republicans to kind of limit your applause and stuff like that because they come off as assholes when they boo gay soldiers asking questions in the 2012 debates.
Right.
When they did the primary debates, and the gay serviceman was saying like, he served his country. Why are you against me serving openly? And the audience booed. They're like, come on, like
Tone
we,
it
we
down.
don't get any
Stop-
better in this.
Stop booing the veterans.
But and everyone said Jim Webb would have been a great Republican candidate if the Republicans were having an honest debate.
We're still Republicans, right?
We're still Republican. It was,
Well-
I thought it very interesting.
and he was running as a Democrat, and I say was because he dropped out today.
Oh, I did not hear that.
Yeah.
He did.
did.
Yep. Former Virginia Senator Jim Webb dropped out of the Democratic presidential race on Tuesday, ripping both major parties for being pulled to the extremes, while suggesting he may consider an independent run. Which I hope he's got a lot of money, because that's even harder. The decision comes after the ex-senator and former Navy Secretary struggled to gain traction in a race dominated by Hillary Clinton and, to an extent, Bernie Sanders. In a press conference Tuesday afternoon, Webb said that political candidates are increasingly out of step with the people they're supposed to serve, which I completely agree with that.
Yeah.
Claiming Americans are also increasingly independent and uncomfortable with the extremes.
And it's true. He represented a point of view. He did bitch a little bit too much about his time because none of the questions were really for him.
Sure.
But the thing that I took away from that, and I think I wrote it down somewhere to talk about here, was that even though he was the former Secretary of the Navy, do I have that right?
Yep.
And very, very, very right of center for a Democratic, Hillary is still the biggest hawk on the stage.
Yeah.
Like, she came off more pro-war than even he did. And she did it to me, so subtly. Like, that she stays the hawk. And that's one of the big criticisms of her, is that dress it up any way you want to. And the thing that the Republicans are going to have a hard time fighting her on is she's a hawk.
Yeah.
Like, she's not anti-war. She's not anti-intervention.
She's all about it. Get it done.
You know, if the Iraq vote hadn't have gone so wrong, strategically and politically in that time, it should have played to her advantage if Bush wasn't a complete and total fuck-up.
Right.
If she could have had some faith in the top two, her vote would have been consistent with her policies of being more hawkish than the rest of them. And I had to laugh because there was one exchange where I actually wrote down in here somewhere, she's still the biggest hawk on the stage. Like, she still gets it across, whether it's because she's a woman and she
Sure.
feels she needs to be a little bit more
a little
like,
bit more aggressive.
yeah, might is right.
Maybe.
But where that comes off is, and it just kind of shocked me because he did something and I'm like, wow, she just out-hawked the Secretary of the fucking Navy. Like,
Right.
That's she amazes me. And I honestly think at a different time, as Harrison says, everything is 16 years ago. When Clinton ran, I still think because of her being a woman, the wrong Clinton ran for governor, the wrong Clinton ran for president. I think she's the political animal of the family the whole time.
Yeah.
And he ran on
Well, and
her
Her
smarts.
right.
Like,
Sure.
she was leading that
Her
ship
ideas,
all along.
yeah.
And now she's like, give me the fucking helm.
right. Well, and
Let me write this ship.
yeah.
Yeah.
And you know, I remember when Clinton was president, like there was a lot of that speculation going on. You know what I mean? Like Hillary's really the meat behind all this, and you know,
But they meant
luckily
it in
for
kind
Bill,
of a derogatory way.
right? They meant it in a derogatory way, but as it may turn out for her, that may have been really good practice for her.
Yeah, but I don't think it was practice. I think that was her political. It's her political game that we've been playing.
Oh my God, it's the plot of Scandal.
Yeah, it really is.
It
Oh
is.
my God!
Yeah.
It is. But I honestly thought that during the debate because I thought it was the first time because she kind of played it down a little in 2008. I really thought she should have played the "bitch is the new black" card
Right.
a little harder, a little earlier. And this one, I think, wow, she's just balls to the wall. You're only president once, Yopo.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yopo.
She's
Well,
got
I feel like maybe, yeah, I don't know.
But I honestly was, I really thought this will make, if she doesn't get elected, this is a great TV show because this bitch is political.
Oh yeah.
And when Jim Webb tried to raise his hand and get in there, she shut him down. And I was again, slack-jawed.
Well, and later in the debate, he started kind of crying about that. Like, oh my God. Well, I feel like she's had 10 minutes. I feel like they've had 10 minutes. Where's my 10 minutes? And even when announcing that he's dropping out of the race, he's still saying that he feels like the debate was rigged in terms of who was going to get time on the floor.
And it did for the Republicans, too.
Yeah.
Trump was in the center in both debates
Sure.
so far. The attention has gone from the middle, the highest in the polls, outward, because you've got the most votes right now.
Right, and the most people wondering what you have to say.
Yep. Yeah,
like you've really got to get your message out there to get on the. And I don't think that's unfair. I think you really have to get people behind you and talking about you to be a player on the stage. Like if you're polling in the 1%, then I don't give a fuck what you say because clearly you haven't said it to enough people.
Yeah, and Carly did that. She did the opposite. Yep. She went from an asterisk through her debate performances, and I don't agree with her. But that first debate on Fox, when she was in the junior table, she got it done, and I was like, all right, she's making some points, and I don't agree with what she says.
And now
but now let's hear more crazy.
And right back down, which is really interesting because she had gone significantly
she got
up,
a
and now
bump,
she's at like 3% again. Like I mean, she significantly has gone down.
And whenever someone tells me they're not interested in politics, I'm like, are you high?
How can you not?
It's high drama.
Intrigue.
But it all
It's
comes
Henry
down to what
VIII,
you're
but
saying,
now
like,
and with
she's
to her detriment, less robes.
She certainly hasn't been in the public eye. I mean, like there hasn't been a situation for her to have her name out there.
Yeah, and it increases your speaking fees too. Like Herman Cain just ran to get speaking fees. He was never going to be president of anything but Godfather's Pizza.
Totally, yeah.
Pray continue. Boy, do we shit on your segment.
No, it's this is
stimulating conversation.
I'm pitching the softballs.
I was just sitting here thinking, like in a year from now, like after the elections, what are we going to talk about?
Just falling down on tampons on the floor. We still have that.
But we already know, like that lull that comes after the presidential election. There's a necessary lull after
and it's everywhere.
So if you're still listening a year from now, in November, late November of 16, and in December of 16,
we're not gonna have shit to talk about. We're gonna be making it.
We're gonna be making up shit. I'm just letting you know.
We're gonna be drinking
more tampons. Serious.
I feel like you said
Lots of tampons.
More tampons, more often.
You only plug
everybody
it up
goes through it. Like you can tell, like CNN goes through that withdrawal too. Like,
Oh, yeah.
you can tell.
And the View hires and
Malaysia.
fires people based on it all the time.
Right.
Oh, they do it weekly.
I have a feeling. Let's go ahead and watch Al come out of his chair. This one.
Oh.
Almost vice rapist in chief, Paul Ryan, told his colleagues on Tuesday night that he would agree to run for Speaker of the House, but only if the party united behind him by Friday.
I'll only be your guy if you'll permit me.
I will be the Republican Jesus, but only
if you all lay down and
you guys
take
suck
it.
my dick, right?
Yeah.
But he said
we went to very.
Now is it consensual? Is it consensual? No. Okay.
He wants you to say yes, but you're
Well, you thought it.
Yeah, he wants you to say no, but mean
I
yes.
saw the clip of him doing this whole thing where he's
so
like,
date raping.
I'll do it if you elect me to do it, but I'm fine with staying where I am if you don't want me.
No, you guys, seriously, like I'm okay, but if you really want me to do it, like if you really need me there,
It's sort of like he's saying this with one hand and with the other.
Right.
That's what he's
exactly.
doing.
Like somebody.
Or maybe he's checking
please stop with the
he's
applause.
checking the undercarriage.
He is. He's playing the piano from this direction.
Driving Miss Daisy.
Yeah, let the bitch walk.
I can't.
But you know what? There's no one really credible else.
Right,
You know what I mean?
no, yeah, because they're
how about
all
the guy
batshits,
that-
and all the reasonable people are like,
Right.
no, we saw how it killed
Yeah.
Boehner, like,
And here's what we learned. We learned from George Bush, and remember Harriet Myers, whatever her name was, the woman he
Sounds
found on the
familiar.
street somewhere that he nominated for Supreme Court Justice.
yes,
Remember her? And that's when we learned you don't have to be a lawyer to be a Supreme Court justice.
true story.
It's a suggestion, but it's not a law.
Suggestion.
yeah, legal training.
Because when the shit hits the
optional.
fan with the Republicans, they find out crazy ways to get around everything. And we found out from Harriet, what's her butt? That's what's monogrammed on her towels.
Right.
Not Tubman. Not Tubman.
No, not her.
Tubman.
Different
monogram.
HWHB.
That you don't. What's her butt?
Hey, what's her butt?
I'm not sure where to put the H in that milieu. Since we're going to
Yo-ho.
go French all the time.
Yo-ho.
You only go French once. And then you're like, my tongue doesn't want to be in that.
No. Well, maybe.
You don't have to be a judge to be a Supreme Court justice.
Right.
And you don't have to be in the United States Congress to be the Speaker of the House. It can literally be anyone.
Anyone.
So they're suggesting like Newt Gingrich come back and do the
Oh,
job
Lord.
he was fired from
No.
and prosecuted away from
Right.
to come back because people still call him Mr. Speaker.
Can we get Tip O'Neill? Can we dig
they
him
do.
up?
Sure, come on,
Get them all.
If they don't have to be congressmen, I don't see why alive would matter.
Maybe we could go back in time and get somebody.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Isn't that the best though? And I love it. It's only during Republican clusterfucks that you learn these rules.
I love
But
it.
it's also been very interesting because as much as they can't get united on any other front, like in this election thing, all of a sudden everybody's running like it's the tar baby of everything. Like, oh, I'm not touching that. I'm running. They can't figure out how the fuck to get that done.
Yeah,
And
who
they
doesn't
want-
want to be third in line for the president with the guy that everyone wants to shoot and the 90-year-old in office?
Yeah.
Like, it's a good time to be number 3. You got a shot.
Right.
Right.
Nope.
One half of the
good
country's got the NRA
Right.
loading up the gun for Obama.
It's funny to watch them
And-
try to
yeah.
scramble and figure out who wants to be chief.
Uncle Joe's older than Bernie, I think, if I'm not mistaken.
He's 71.
Oh, we've
I
looked this
believe.
up before.
We've looked this up before, and I
Yeah.
think Uncle Joe is older.
Hang
I
on.
thought no,
By
I
like
think
a minute and a
I think
half.
Uncle Joe
Yeah.
is 71.
I mean, they're close.
yeah.
Uncle Joe is 72.
Okay.
And I think Bernie's 71 or 70.
Feel the Burn is 74.
Oh, okay. So he is really late for that flight.
That's what I
Yeah.
thought. Yeah.
I love it. Somebody described him as the man that looks like he's always late for a flight.
He does always look like
Like, well, that's something.
running through an airport.
You're only late once.
Speaking of flights,
yes.
October 21st, 2015 is Back to the Future Day. It's the day that Marty McFly went to when he went from 1985,
What time zone are we
30
there?
years in the future.
No, we're not there
No,
yet.
he's in Chicago, right?
Yep.
Isn't the movie in Chicago?
Is it?
Yes. Sounds right.
Doesn't
I'm going to go with I don't remember.
Yeah, I don't either.
Feels
I
right.
don't remember.
We need Aaron. Aaron, this seems like a movie you'd like.
Lots of conspiracy theorists out there, especially due to the Cubs' performance in the
that's right.
playoffs.
Yet they lost a
Right.
game just yesterday, day before?
Sports.
You're a lesbian.
Here's what I hear: sport,
Yeah.
sport, sport,
Not that
sport,
kind.
sport,
Not that
sport,
kind.
sport, sport.
Every team I like lost on
Sport,
Sunday.
sport.
That's all I know.
Yeah.
I have no
Sports.
idea. However,
I think the Cubs have lost 2.
Back to
But
the
I'll
Future
look that up.
enthusiasts remember that when Marty went to the future, one of the very first revelations that he had was, "Oh my fucking god,
The Cubs.
the Cubs
yeah.
won the World
Cubs
Series."
win. Yeah.
Cubs
Yeah.
win.
And the
Cubs win,
headline,
Cubs
there's
win.
something, if I'm not mistaken, in the headline that they say the Cubs win, like over here is first female president elected. Or
Yes.
There's
Yeah.
something about
and
a
the-
first
and
female
there's
president.
a couple of little hints in there and a couple of things that have kind of come true, and you'll see them on the news and on the internet all day tomorrow. There's actually hoverboards out there, and there's actually Nike's working on self-tying shoes and all of these things.
Yeah.
That are almost happening or have happened, that Back to the Future supposedly predicted.
And they're
But
saying
this one-
It'll be a hell
Hill
of a-
Valley, California.
Yes.
And for those that are writing letters, I didn't start liking sci-fi movies until Alien, of course, because I'm
Right,
not stupid.
clearly.
And Aliens.
Would you show us where California is?
right over here.
Okay, thank you. Oh,
Yeah.
mudslides.
I feel like Hill Valley's probably
Yeah,
like
I'm
here,
with
though. I feel
Meow
like
Cal.
it's in here.
Meow Cal has a thing. Going back to the last story on there,
Yeah.
McCarthy is out over the sex affair rumors, and they want Gingrich in there.
Like he's never had an
Hashtag,
affair.
You only cheat once.
Like he's
I
not
feel
playing the
that.
piano on the girl
Yeah.
next to his
That's
whatever
what I'm
dying
saying,
wife he's
fiddling
with.
The little
There's
pinkies.
that.
Now the Cubs versus Mets doesn't look like that might happen this year, but
Sport.
they'd have to come back
Sport,
quite a bit
sport.
because the Mets are leading the series 3
Sport.
nothing.
Oh, they also
That's all
had
I
Queen Diana visiting. Interesting. In I guess in the headlines.
Oh, that's sad.
They didn't-
Oh, the
Oh,
president says
sure.
she's tired of. That's right.
Got it.
Anyway,
All right.
so there's all these little snippets.
We
and
don't
some
know.
of them
Queen
will be
Diana
true.
visiting could be a horror movie. We don't know. It could be
don't
like a
know?
ghost,
That's right.
Maybe.
paranormal activity. This time it's royal.
Could
There
be.
you go.
She could be the queen
Rare-
of Genovia.
royal
We don't
Yeah,
know.
Genovia.
I like it.
But have fun with that. But don't take any of it too terribly seriously, because remember, It's Back to the Future.
It's a movie.
movie.
I'm sure they also thought
Pretend.
DeLoreans were going to be a very popular car still. Just a
Yeah.
guess.
And that they
That
would
didn't
all
happen.
fly.
Popular with collectors.
And one more thing for those in the LA area. If I'm not mistaken, the clock tower in nope, I'm wrong. I already know the answer.
Already solved your own mission.
Because there's one of the theme parks. I think it's Universal. You can go by the square where
Right,
it all
City
the clock
Square.
tower. Right,
the
right,
clock
right.
tower. But then there's the clock tower in Paso Robles that was destroyed in the earthquake. Not the same. I'm mixing my wine with my science fiction, and really it doesn't go well there.
Different. Okay, next caller.
Well, you were talking about flights, and I just thought that it would be brilliant to bring up Aer Lingus because that just made me fucking laugh my ass off
Next
when I saw
caller.
that.
What did?
Aer Lingus.
Is that like Sorry
that's an
Lingus?
actual? Thank you, because I looked at that and I burst out fucking laughing because I thought it had to be fake.
No, it's an
It
it's
is
an
not.
airline.
It's an actual airline. Aer Lingus, which I firmly believe should be the drinking word next week. But
What is- what is
cocaine bags were found inside a man who died after attacking passengers. This flight was on its way to Dublin. And could we please put that on the map?
Oh, we don't have Dublin. We don't have.
We don't have international maps right now. Wait,
We do not.
bring up the globe.
Oh shit!
Come on, spin the fucking
Wait.
globe.
Well, it doesn't spin.
It's all right.
Cattle spin.
All we got.
Bring it up.
Yeah, cattle spin.
That's all we got.
Dublin is like
Over there.
over there.
There you go.
Around-
Yeah, it's around the corner or over the top.
Oh, I mean you could, but it's cold that way.
It's colder.
I would
Right.
I would go this way.
Yeah,
And
a
so, like,
little bit
right
less
back
swimming.
here.
Keep swimming.
Right back
Just
back
keep
there.
swimming. Just keep swimming.
That is funny.
So,
Ah.
needless to say, cocaine bags were found inside this guy because he got a little erratic. Got a little erratic on Aer Lingus.
All right.
And, sorry, no.
Not a
Sorry, Aer
metaphor.
Lingus.
Not
Sorry.
a metaphor.
Not a metaphor. No.
Come back, Al, and tell us.
But I yeah.
It's a
Sometimes
hell of a drug.
Sometimes
On
I
the dancing,
feel
sir.
Yeah. So,
What, Kat? You seem puzzled.
I'm very confused as to where the Aer Lingus even came from.
well,
I'm like
you said
looking
that-
under my
right.
chair, going, "What?"
We took a flight. You said earlier. We took a flight.
I was doing my dumb segues like
Yeah.
I do. It's kind of part of my thing.
Wait,
That
but what
was
was
the
the-
dumb segue into Aer
That was-
Lingus. 'cause
oh,
it
you
was a
you were
flight.
just segueing.
Just letting you know about Aer.
But what was
into
the?
some- all right,
where
I'm
where on
into
the
it.
show? What was this? What was it we had before?
Sorry,
Lingus.
Sorry,
Yeah,
Lingus.
right.
Okay, got
Yeah,
it.
sorry, Lingus.
Yeah.
And this Aer
which
Lingus,
is when you go down on a girl to apologize.
exactly to apologize.
Right.
Sorry,
No,
Lingus.
I'm well
Right,
aware.
right,
I
okay,
understand that. I was here for the show, but I just I don't I couldn't remember the word at the moment, but I
That's what it
remembered
was.
the definition.
So I thought that was fantastic. We need to. We all need to take a.
I
Fight.
feel like we have
Aer
another
Lingus.
segment coming.
We do. Now, are we gonna? Because we can go till 10:30 if you want to. Are we gonna do the? Are we doing bullshit? Are we doing more stories, or do we just want to go to thoughtful and be done with
I
it?
think we do some bullshit. I have to tell you, well, I'm going to waste more time now, so be ready. I have to tell you, as a longtime reader of USA Today, which I think started in like 81, 82, there's a reference to it as being the nation's McPaper.
Yeah.
I always took that as a slam against McDonald's. But isn't McFly his name in Back to the Future?
It is
Yes.
Marty McFly.
This was another movie after the first one. I'm like, I do not need to sit through any more of that crap.
Sure.
Did not intrigue me at all. But this mock front page is really well done, and now I might have to go re-explore these movies.
Yeah.
As a long time,
No, it's very fun, and some of the things that have kind of come true and have turned out are interesting and fun, and the Cubs will be a fun coincidence, but it's all coincidental.
and my
people.
friend
it's
Max,
all coincidental.
who used to listen a long time ago and then got a life or something.
Sure,
But he
like you
always
do.
used to make fun of me for reading USA Today because of the little corner graph in the left corner of the newspaper and how ridiculous that graph always was, because it was something that it was information no one needed. So whenever I would tell him I read USA Today, he'd be like, all right, look at today's graph and tell me why you read this. So what they have in this one is, I'm going to try and get through this. Ships sunk by whales since 1979. That is so spot on, John Oliver accurate for that's the perfect parody of what the bullshit is in the corner left of every USA Today, a graph that you don't need. It offers no bearing on anyone's life, but the fact that bottom left corner is a graph with ships and whales, ship sunk by whale since 1979. It's perfection. It's absolute satirical perfection. I have to give them credit.
USA Today was
Very nice.
founded in September 15th, 1982.
Oh, I would have said 81. Okay, 80. It's the nation's McPaper, and I just love because it's been called that for years, and it must have to do with because Marty McFly. Am I making that up, or is that a real
Marty
thing?
McFly is the name
McFly, yeah.
of John,
Okay.
Michael J. Fox's character in the movie, but I don't know that the two have anything to do
No,
with each
and
other.
I think that's what it has more to do with than I just thought it was always kind of funny that they called it the McPaper.
Making up facts. Q Talk
Yeah.
America.
I like it.
But because my friend has made fun of me for years for the fact that I read USA Today. Still to this day, USA Today is like one of my top 2 places to go for news because they condense it for you. They make it shorter.
They Reader's Digest it.
They
yeah,
Reader's Digest it, and that's how I love to poop.
How do we shortline it?
All right, we don't have any song for bullshit, right? We just go into
I
it.
don't. Well,
Thoughtful. I say thoughtful.
I don't have a bullshit. I don't have a bullshit theme song.
Thoughtful.
Well,
thoughtful,
bullshit's
thoughtful.
quick. Bullshit. What do you want to call bullshit on this week?
I don't have a bullshit one.
I don't either.
All right, thoughtful
I'm gonna
vulgarity
leave
it is.
that
There it is.
I'll leave that alone.
Here we go.
And now, Thoughtful Vulgarity, where we in the studio try to make ourselves slightly less shallow. Which is not hard to do. We will ask one question of the panel while fucked up drunk. Because you know at home how well it goes when important questions come up several hours after alcohol has been served. Politics, religion, why not? What could possibly go wrong? Who could you offend? Good luck.
I don't like that version.
It's the same version.
Is it? It sounds weird.
Same.
It sounded a little.
There's an echo that I'm not sure where
slower,
it's
a
coming
little
from,
something.
actually, but that's the exact same one I've been playing
Oh, okay.
since
That would seem-
we made this February 17th of this year.
Oh, but it's not the original one.
No,
Oh, yeah.
no. That's the same.
I always prefer the 90-minute one too.
Yeah, the
90 minutes.
I like my timing. on
Oh,
that
I can
better.
go back
I'm gonna
to that
I'm
one.
gonna stroke my. I'm gonna Aer Lingus my own dick on this one.
We can go back to the
I only
original.
Aer Lingus once.
I like it.
All right, so in honor of whatever it is, fast food news. And I was never sure, Aaron, on that one, if it was fast food news, whether it was making fun of the McPaper or the but I just got the McFly reference right now because I never. This USA Today headline is news to me this week. Again, another movie I watched
Making
it,
up fla-
and I couldn't get out of
making
that
up
theater
facts.
fast enough. I could not have cared less. Michael J. Fox, no interest. Okay, so the National Coming Out Month, Coming Out Week. What's your favorite story of the whole coming out process? Like, which of the stories of your coming out, like to people, places, things, which one's your favorite?
The fact that I got myself completely worked up to talk to the what we call the Fun Sisters, which are girls from high school, the girls that I grew up with. That's what our,
That sounds like a metaphor for bosoms.
it does. That is
I brought
not
the
it.
Fun Sisters!
Oh my god, that's totally a metaphor for boobs now.
It totes is.
It is.
Sounds it's gonna be in my world.
I like it. So
Hey,
anyway,
nice to see you. Did you bring the Fun Sisters? Oh, there they are.
There they are. They walked through the door.
Carry on. Sorry.
Anyway, so that I had worked myself up considerably to come out to them, and it was just something I didn't need to do because after I got done,
Because they had sight, they could see
seeing
you.
people,
well,
right?
Gina had been.
They knew
We had been
you.
together for like 3 years at that point, and my roommate and all the bullshit
I
that you go
gotcha.
through.
Convenient roommate.
So
Right.
I love it when you're telling us they got 19 quotation marks. Yeah.
Exactly. And so I got myself all built up and said what I felt I needed to say, at which point they all just were staring at me and like, okay, go ahead. And then one of them said, "But so you're gay?" And yeah, we know Ryer. Okay.
Yeah.
Anyway, and
Were you already driving a Subaru at that time?
Nope.
Okay.
As
Truck.
well,
She
became
pointed
a
out,
woman in that.
It was the truck.
Stand
Yeah.
by- I was saying,
It was
pickup truck or a
extended
Jeep?
cab.
Yeah.
Pickup truck, and but truly, I sat there rather defeated, quite frankly, because I was like,
It's my big news.
This is my big
This is
moment.
my moment.
I worked for this,
This
and
is
I've
the
fretted about it.
moment.
And anyway, but that was one of my favorites because I know for a fact I just stood there like, real good. All right, moving on, and they just truly went right back to what they were doing as though nothing. Shh. Just stop talking. Go ahead.
Hush now, hush.
Yeah. So anyway, that was always one of my favorites because thank God, but it was just easy. It was like, oh, okay, everything will be okay. Nobody's going anywhere. We're good. So anyway, that's it.
I'm fascinated by this whole USA. I'm going to go home and study this. Fascinated by it. It's so good.
I feel like I should start getting it delivered here so that when you get here on Tuesday, there is that paper.
Oh, that's
like it.
fun.
Oh no, I had the USA delivered until they went completely online, and now when you want it, you just pay $1. It's $2 for the actual thing, $1 online. I have an account.
A month?
No, a day.
Oh, $1.
I used to have it delivered, but then it turned into a lot of
I'm not spending
recycling.
$30 a month for that. I spend enough to get live streaming chrome-plated crap coming into my house.
And you don't need it.
A million channels of all
But
that.
every once in a while, I do like the little charts that they put out. Like they give me my top 10 movies. They give me there's stuff in the USA Today that only they provided.
Oh, nice. All right, so the question is, what is your favorite
Of your coming
snippet
out-
of your own coming out story?
Right? Like where is
Like
the favorite part?
not the whole story. My favorite part is that my coming out story actually started by being kind of kicked in the ass to come out of the closet by an entire construction crew.
I remember her talking about this story.
So I, at like 19 years old, was very stereotypically driving a pickup truck, wearing a mullet and khaki
You're
pants.
sporting a mullet. You're not wearing a mullet. You're sporting
I was
a mullet.
sporting the fuck out of that mullet.
You only sport it once.
Yoso. But it wasn't wearing you. That's the point. That's the point. It wasn't wearing you. You were wearing it.
And I was working construction. Like, that was my job. I was a general laborer for a construction company.
Where is the correct use of
Right.
quotation marks? for that?
All of that is true, and all of that fits every stereotype you could ever think. And I clearly wasn't gay, and so we had a day where we didn't have any jobs like out in the field, so we were finding work in the shop, which basically meant hiding from the security cameras and drinking beer and smoking in the back of the workshop.
I like your job.
I know, good job. And so yeah, so
Doesn't that sound like a night at a lesbian bar?
it also sounds a lot like a night at a lesbian bar.
Just making sure we're on the same page.
Yeah, so we were just hanging around, fucking around, sneaking beer and smoking cigarettes, and the guys are like, okay, like, we've had enough. You can tell us. And I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about?
I got $20 on this.
Right.
Yeah, exactly.
Seriously,
Talk to me,
like,
Carlson.
Mama needs a new pair of shoes.
and I was initially very upset, and, like, stormed out and was very, very, like, confused and hurt because I'm like,
She's a
I'm only
dramatic
19.
dyke.
Very dramatic dyke. I was like, not a fucking dyke, you guys. God, I'm out of here. And I went and I got in my
She's
lifted
Pee Wee
Toyota
Herman.
pickup truck and drove away.
Apparently.
I swung my mullet off my shoulder.
And then a week later, I kissed a girl for the first time and came back and was like, okay, guys, so
Guess what?
here's the thing.
I found a use for Bud Light
Yeah.
Lime. I feel that's
Yeah.
a lesbian-only beer.
Totes a rug muncher and hand over the Playboys. Like, it was over in a week. But my favorite was that kick in the ass by just a whole bunch of, like, just gross construction guys that are like, come on, seriously, the jig is up.
Manny, Mo, and Jack and I have a bet going.
Right.
Are you a girl lover?
Yeah.
I'm just guessing.
McKee.
My favorite story, I've told it before on this, is the similar to what Marnie said. I had kind of worked myself up, but I knew that I had to have a discussion with Mom, and I told her. And the biggest part of this, the reason was, I had made a decision to move back to Missouri to take care of my grandparents. So I had been asked by them, and I'd quit a job. I had done this. The truck was there. We were getting ready to go back to Missouri, and I
The
basically
vacuums were in a row.
Oh, that was
And the mowers.
it wasn't pre-vacuum stage, but
I
it was.
was using the quotation
I
marks. I had all my
understand.
vacuums in a row.
I'm going to show you the vacuums when the show's over, by the way. Anyway,
I have a feeling I wasn't leaving here without it.
anyway, it's one of those things where I had worked myself up into having to have this conversation, and it was literally, I put my cards on the table for Mom, and she's like, and like it's such a non-issue. So
Yeah.
that really is. That has to be one of the favorite stories, because the person that I was most concerned about, like, if it didn't go well there, I didn't have a lot of hopes for everywhere else, even though I was already living my life and my dream basically.
Now, how
with
about
that.
your grandparents?
I found out. Unfortunately, I found out after the fact. Grandma always knows. Certain people always know. Your mom always knows. If she doesn't, blind, deaf, and dumb is apparently what she's not paying attention.
Don't let her
Your
drive.
mother is Helen Keller.
But
Yeah.
I know my grandmother did. For God's sakes, Grandma and I would coordinate outfits to go to the grocery store
Oh
in.
my God, that's my new favorite.
That's
thing
exactly.
I've ever heard.
That's
cute.
I've told you
I
that
don't
before.
remember.
Oh, Loretta and I used to, because I would drive her to
love
the
that.
store because that's what I did because she didn't want to drive anymore. But we went to the store, so she had to go, and we would coordinate outfits. I'm like, well, what are you gonna wear? She's like, well, I feel like I'm gonna wear black and gold today, and I did too. So we
God,
would,
I love that.
or we would do blue.
You shake your head, but if you saw them in the store, you'd be like, "Oh, what a smartly
Oh,
dressed
pe-
young man! Look
and
at
everybody
that! Look
loved
how cute
us.
they are."
I'm not saying I wouldn't have
absolutely.
applauded. I'm just saying in hindsight.
I think that
Wow.
just adds everything.
My
to the
question
stories
about
I've
whether
heard. I
or
love
not
it.
she knew just died on the vine.
So then I found
knew.
out after
God, I think that's
many years.
Unless you were both ice skaters, that's a coming out story.
I found out many years after my grandfather had died, who I was so incredibly close to. I found out many years later that he knew, and my mom and him had discussions, but I was never privy to that, and I never wanted to bring that up
So
with
you
him.
think the little one's queer? Pretty much.
I
I
was
just
That was a dramatic reenactment of Missouri.
on the back porch of my grandparents.
1989. Think the little one's queer?
He looks real good in the black.
I
and
wasn't the
gold.
little one though.
Yeah,
I was the older one.
that's true.
I think we meant that as a euphemism as well. Think she's letting the loafers? Yeah, all right. Get the truck. We're going to the store.
Handy little fucker though. That
We're going to
one.
the store. What are you
Just
gonna
pray
wear?
to God she's not wearing a ruffle today. And I met Grandma, because that means the little one's going to wear it too.
Fuck the pinafore.
The best part was we drove to and from. What's the pinafore? What'd you say? What did I miss? Oh, I'll have to listen back.
What's the...
Petticoat?
Petticoats.
If she puts a crinoline under that
Oh my
George
God,
Michael jacket, we're all leaving.
Talk about your wham.
Ain't right.
Oh, he likes both types of music, country and western.
I'm bisexual. I like men and boys. I wish I could take credit for that joke, but that's an old one too, and that is so funny.
Well, Al, on that note, would you share with us your delightful dialogue about...
Well, Aaron chimed in that when he told his mom, she thought he was gonna say he was dying from the heart problem. She couldn't have cared less about me being gay. I think the expression "bigger fish to fry"
Yeah, right,
is apropos here. My favorite one is well, Tim had gone to the gay bar for his 15th birthday, and he had told me about it, and I was like,
magical land.
"Ooh, we went to the Magic Kingdom, the happiest place on earth," and I was very jealous. And then after the Diana Ross concert, I'm coming out. We decided we were going to go because we were in downtown Buffalo, and the gay bar was there. And the fact that we had to circle it, I was 15, so there's a couple different worries here. One, I'm not of age.
Sure.
Sure.
First time in a gay bar, didn't know what I was going to
Was
see
it
or
18
do.
then? Or was it?
It was 18 then. So really, all you had to do was be like tall or fat, and you were in. Because 18's not hard to prove.
I
was fat. Yeah.
I would bring the fun girls with.
Clearly, tall wasn't happening. Because that don't change as you get older.
And we've seen the pictures in
Yeah.
the pink pants.
Yeah, and I got
And you were skinny. You were skinny.
I was fat then skinny.
Oh.
I was fat then I came out and then I got skinny. But we circled the block a few times. There was
Would
a
you
lot
like
of
to come out
apprehension.
again?
Oh, please God. Just be that motivated again. But we drove around the block and we just went over it and over it and over it. Oh God, we got to get to that line in a minute.
Okay.
And we finally went in, and in my memory, it may be slightly skewed by time, but they were playing Evelyn Thomas, High Energy. See if you can cue that up.
High energy.
And they were playing that song. Well, that's a pretty realistic interpretation. But it was just one of those things.
Bitch.
That's what they said when they saw me the first time. Well, she's a bitch. But it was just that perfect, like, to walk into such a big, strong beat of a great dance song that I'd never heard before, and I was just instantly intrigued by the music and the voice and who was this person singing and what was this song, and I'd been to dances and stuff like that. And I loved, we used to practice in the basement.
Yeah.
Let's say bathtub. We used to practice in the basement, like dancing to disco and stuff. And I just loved.
Would that be next to the goat sign?
Yeah,
That
it
was
was.
down there? Okay.
Totes my goats.
Got
it. Literally.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But I really did. It was one of my favorite things was going into that gay bar for the first time and just having that little soundtrack to my life. But fast forward a little bit till the beat comes in. But just this voice, it was like a siren song, if you will.
Right.
Calling you in. Little hi-hat. Get the hi-hat.
Yes.
And it was Studio 54.
Sure.
City lights. The
Yeah.
city light shutter.
Sure.
Yeah.
Get the beat. Got to get the beat. And just walking into that energy that kind of sounds like Frankie Say Relax.
It also sounds like Dead or Alive right
Dead
there.
or Alive,
Yeah.
yeah. It was just that, and as soon as I walked in and heard that voice and that beat, I was in. I'm like, all right, we're all in now. And it really was like, you put your left foot in now, we're all in. Like, that's it. And Evelyn Thomas really did just kind of like bring me out, and I just felt like I just exhaled. It was like waiting to exhale. I was only 15
Okay.
and a half, and it was 16 years ago. I don't know what the math is. It was October 22nd of 1982. Math ago. October 22nd of 1982, and walked into that song, and I immediately was home. Like, it was just one click. It was just her voice, that beat, and it might have been song 2 or 3 of the night. I don't know if
that's
it
the
was
one
actually
you
the first
really
song,
recall.
but that's when it all just clicked, and I was like, I want to go dance with a guy. Like, I just want to go dance with a man, and I want to go do all these things. And my friend was like, do not go out to the parking lot, because it was back in the days of like handies and stuff in the parking lot. Do not leave the building without
week?
walking the guy past. Right, exactly. But he was very nice, and he was like, do not go out and we get eye contact and we meet the person you're going to the parking lot. Like, everyone gets to see him. Because if something goes wrong and you get knifed, we at least have a witness
Right,
to it.
At least we know who to look for.
And it was
Yeah.
one of those very trusting, like nothing on the down low with us. Like, if we're gonna do something, you do it, and you let your friends know where you went and who you went with, and you walk them past. So it was a very like welcoming. There was older people with us. Tim was there. You know what I mean?
Right.
Just as scared as I was, drinking our whiskey and sevens.
I'm gonna go a little back in time and play a little bit of "This Is Your Life," Al Perkins. I'm gonna tell you by way of Facebook notifies you of things and lets you know.
Oh, and that's my favorite thing is.
I have a pretty good idea that I know what was happening 36 years ago tonight.
Oh, okay.
I have a very good idea.
Math ago. Oh, yeah.
36 years ago today,
Oh, enough is enough.
released today, 36 years ago, Donna Summer and Barbara Streisand single. And
Enough is enough.
that should have been another.
I do know where I was on October 20th, 1979, crying in a record store. You threw me with playing Heaven Knows, but
Oh wait. Well, it's actually saying the wrong song. My bad. That is the wrong song. It says it's No More Tears, but it's not No More Tears.
it's No More Tears. And I did. We used to, because we would walk to the, Tim and I and Janelle and Amy would go to the mall all the time. And we would go look at records. And I picked up without him, because there was no internet, there was no way to know that they had recorded, and they released No More Tears, parenthetically, Enough is Enough.
Oh, wait a minute.
And the picture is them back to back. It's a Scavollo photo, and I
There it is.
just sobbed in the record store because I'm like, my 2 favorite singers have recorded a song. It was the greatest moment of my life. Like, I just like,
I can believe it.
it was like a
That's
gift, manna from heaven.
So this is the actual song I'm talking about. And what the funny thing is that's the same year, if I'm not mistaken. That was the same year that the greatest hits on the radio, greatest hits.
That's the song.
Okay, so when that cassette came
lead
out,
single from.
I fell in love with that. I think it was a cassette, and I think we also had it on album because my mom worked for a record distributor at the time.
God bless her.
I played the shit out of that, and I didn't understand at the time why that was. I loved that album. I loved it, and I still listen to it today. Not on the
Her
cassette.
picture sitting on the radio. And
I love that, and it's so funny that nobody knew I was gay. Yeah, really, I didn't, but everybody else did.
I mean,
I think the person at the record store was ready to like give me a hand job because we were like, I was sobbing, and I remember Janelle and Tim and Amy like around me like, what's wrong? And I'm like,
Look at this.
Look who recorded. And 4 copies went out the door that minute.
Yeah.
Nice.
We could not get home fast enough here. 11 minutes and 33 seconds of pure unadulterated joy.
Over and over.
And to finally say, enough!
Yeah. So you're like,
Jim!
do it.
See, that song has that effect on people. Like, you hear enough is enough, and sooner or later somebody in the background is going, enough is enough!
Yeah.
Enough! Please!
So funny.
Yeah.
true.
Imagine having your girlfriend and her best friend, like, maybe after closing, maybe with a karaoke system, just over and over, like, shrieking it.
If
Molly Montgomery, I don't know if you still listen, but I fondly remember that.
if you kind people were not here to stop me, I would do a 3-hour podcast every week just about this song.
By the way, this is
Enough is enough.
You've been listening to The Show on Hume Talk America.